championship, winning the Sugar Bowl against Miami. This year's team returned to the SEC championship game, but key injuries left them short of the title this time. Still, Bama showcases college football's most versatile talent. Number 2, David Palmer. He has triple threat talents, running, passing, and receiving to spark the Alabama attack.
The Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl, tonight on PBS.
Tonight from Jacksonville, Florida, it's the 49th annual Gator Bowl as 2 top 20 teams, the Tar Heels of North Carolina, representing the ACC, meet the Crimson Tide of Alabama. From the SEC, it's the first meeting ever between these two schools. Hi again, everybody. I'm Gary Bender. On the behalf of Turner Sports, a Happy New Year. After winning the national championship last year, Alabama finished this year a very disappointing 8-3-1. They were a team that was decimated by injuries. They had 10 starters miss at least one game. The biggest loss was quarterback Jay Barker. They really miss his leadership. North Carolina, on the other hand, posted their 4th straight winning season, and they could cap off a remarkable year with a win here tonight. It would vault them in the top 10 in rankings and also give them an 11-win season for the first time since 1980. Broadcast partner, Pat Hayden. And, Pat, I thought it was very interesting when Mac Brown talked to us this week. He said, this is a perfect opponent for us, Alabama. We need to play a national power and be able to beat them and go to the next level.
Well, you know, this North Carolina football program has dramatically improved over the last 3 years. They won great bookends to their football season. They started the year with a win over Southern Cal, and they want to end it with a win over the defending champion, Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, for Alabama, this game means a lot too, Gary, I think. And this is a team that lost their last 2 games. Their players, their fans, their coaches, they're not accustomed to losing like that. So they want to end their season on an up note, and particularly for their seniors, a very good senior class. They want to send them off in proper fashion.
I mentioned Jay Barker. He took the Tide to 22 straight wins in a national championship last year. He is on the sideline. He missed 3 games with a shoulder problem and then hurt his knee against Auburn in the regular season finale. So Brian Bergdorf will get the starting call. He started 3 times. He was 1-2. And, Pat, he's trying to gain the confidence of Gene Stallings.
Yeah, Gene Stallings said he will start Bergdorf, but he would be afraid to use his backup quarterback, Freddie Kitchens, or even David Palmer. The key thing for Brian is to not turn the ball over. That has killed Alabama this year. 26 turnovers, including 13 interceptions the last 5 games. If he doesn't throw the interceptions, he can actually, their defense is good enough to keep him in the ball game.
David Palmer, what a year he's had. He set all the Tide receiving records. First-team All-American, 3rd in the Heisman balloting. And Stallings told us, I'm going to find 15 ways to get the ball to him tonight.
I do the exact same thing. This is the most versatile player in college football, and he can beat you a lot of different ways. You see, he's had a 1,000-yard reception. You see what he's done rushing the ball. He's played quarterback and thrown for 2 touchdowns. He returns punts and kickoffs. He can make people stand up and cheer. This guy can make people miss in a very small area, and he will be the featured player for Alabama tonight.
Tar Heels had one of the most potent offenses in the history of their school, averaging 438 yards. The guy that makes it go is Jason Stanisic. He makes such good decisions on the option.
Well, his ability to run the option is really the reason Carolina has a chance to win their 11th game and be a top 10 team. And what he can really do is hang on to that ball to the very last instant before he pitches it, sometimes 10, 15 yards downfield. But this is a versatile team, not just an option team. They can run with power and they can throw the ball.
You mentioned running. North Carolina with 2 1,000-yard rushers. The firm of Johnson & Johnson. Curtis and Leon, but they're entirely different kind of runners.
You're right. Curtis Johnson is an inside runner, a power runner, although he can really run with some speed. He's the guy on the right, number 32, Curtis Johnson, 10-300-meter speed. Leon Johnson is learning about the position, but he always also rushed for 1,000 yards. A former quarterback, he rushed for the 1,000, and a very good pass receiver as well.
And here come the Tar Heels, 10-2. They are ranked 11th in the country. Second in the ACC, the top-ranked Florida State, who they lost to this year, 33-7. Their only other loss at the hands of the Virginia Cavaliers. The Tar Heels were averaging 35 points a game, and here comes the Tide of Alabama. 8-3-1, Gene Stallings' team. When we come back, we'll join Craig Sager. He'll update us on the playing conditions here at the Gator Bowl.
Big news from Chunky. Chunky introduces potato ham chowder, an unbelievably unique combination of enormously enticing tastes, marvelously mouth-watering potatoes, a veritable volume of our best-tasting ham, all in a beautiful blend of creamy broth. Chunks big enough for a fork, but use a big spoon to get every wholesome bite of this distinctively delicious soup. Chunky old-fashioned potato ham chowder. Soup so big, it eats like a meal.
Introducing new popcorn shrimp, but Long John Silver's. By the pound or by the meal, you get a lot for a little. Now that's a nice change. New popcorn shrimp at Long John Silver's. This offer won't last long, so pop in soon. Long John Silver's shrimp.
Welcome back to Jacksonville, Florida for the Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl. Now, it figures that a team with the nickname of the Tar Heels would be concerned with its footing. After slipping, sliding, and stumbling at yesterday's walkthrough, Carolina requested that the field be cut. Now, to determine if they had a legitimate complaint or merely idle chatter, I called the guru of groundskeepers, George Toma, today in Kansas City. He said he was aware of the problem. In fact, he got a call at 9 o'clock this morning with a plea for help. Georgia and Florida played the last game on this football field. That was October 30th in 4 inches of rain. And as you can see, the field was totally destroyed. It is now covered with a winter rye, which is green and pretty, but also soft and slick. Thomas says it should be no more than 7/8 of an inch long. Well, as we can see, it is 1.5 inches up to 2 inches in some places. Toma, who has been in charge of all 28 Super Bowls, says he always cuts the field the day of the game with a greens mower from a golf course. However, Mark Clay, the groundskeeper here, says he does not have the proper equipment. And once the field is painted, his mower becomes obsolete. Well, we got to give Clay credit. At least he is trying. He was out here all day trying to brush the field down the old-fashioned way by pulling a steel mat by hand. But the bottom line is that the field is soft and slick and does not have a firm Bermuda base. For a speed team like North Carolina, it is a slow track. It has not been cut since Tuesday. They have left their sprinters' cleats in the locker room. They are wearing the longer spikes. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from the Outback Steak Bowl, Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida in just a moment.
The 1993 Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. By Campbell's Soup. Good. And by America's Place to Go for Fish. Go fish at Long John Silver's.
Roger, is it true right before you die, your life passes before your eyes?
That's what they say, mate.
Well, mine's passing now. I see a beer, a blooming onion, a big juicy steak, and my sweetheart.
Sweetheart, you're not dying, you're dreaming.
For the meal of your life, get that Outback Steakhouse.
New Year's Day on TBS. A woman haunted by her past hides behind a new identity.
The world's gonna come to you, you know, and offer you everything you ever dreamed of.
But her life behind the camera isn't all glitter and glamour.
You're not just rotten, you're evil.
Now, her sordid past threatens to destroy her future.
What do you want?
I wanted to kill you.
Lindsay Wagner and James Brolin, voice of the heart. 8:05 Eastern, New Year's Day on TBS.
Alabama making their second visit to the Gator Bowl. First time was in 1968. They lost to Missouri 35-10, and Gene Stallings, who last year directed the Tide to the national championship. He had taken Alabama to 31 wins in a row before it was ended this year. The 11th coach to win a national title in his first 3 years, and the Tide's first national title in 12 years. And his counterpart for North Carolina, Mack Brown, in his 6th year, and he has brought Carolina football back to national prominence. After going 1-10 the first 2 years, he now has gone 6-4-1, 9-3, and this year 10-2. 4th straight year of improvement for the Heels. Alabama has won the toss. They deferred, so North Carolina will receive. And the guy they call the wild thing, William Watts, will be kicking off. He has a strong leg, but very unpredictable.
Did he pitch in the World Series, too?
I think that was Mitch Williams. Marcus Wall is back deep. So the new home of the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL, and this being the 49th annual Gator Bowl, and they're excited here in Jacksonville. North Carolina with their 5th trip to the Gator Bowl. They are 3-1 in previous games. The true freshman kicks off. Marcus Wall will take it from the goal line. Wall out to the 19, breaks the tackle, and he's across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And so Jason Stanisic will come in. According to Bill Lewis of Georgia Tech, this guy's the most improved player in the ACC. He set a UNC total offense record, completed 64% of his passes. That's a school record. And Patty has great awareness, a feel for the game, playing with such confidence and making good decisions.
Yeah, and competitiveness as well. I mean, the offensive linemen love him because they say, hey, this is the guy that should wear a 60 or 70 because he plays this position a little bit like a lineman. Not afraid to take a hit.
From the 28 now, Carolina with the football. Stanisic is going to throw on first down. Far side, and it's out of bounds. Corey Holiday came up with the catch, make that Bucky Brooks, but he's out of bounds. Let's check now the rest of this offensive 11. We mentioned the Johnsons. Here's one of them, Curtis Johnson. Corey Holiday and Bucky Brooks, very solid receivers, and Freddie Jones, the tight end. Up front, a veteran line. They had 4 starters back from last year, and the only guy that was new was Keneally, Pat Keneally, a sophomore. Veteran line with 3 of them making the All-ACC team. 2nd and 10. Bucky Brooks will go in motion. And a second little shovel pass forward to Mark Montoro, the tight end. Montoro this year has caught only 1 pass, and he's able to get across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd down. The 5th-ranked defense in the country, Alabama. Last year they were number 1, but they still play very hard. They've had to make a lot of changes. James Gregory is huge up front. Keneally very concerned about having to block him for North Carolina. Michael Rogers, who last year didn't get to play in the Sugar Bowl because of an accident in December, an auto accident. Shade Gaston Samuel, a true freshman. It's 3rd and 7 for North Carolina. Pressure coming. He dumps it off quickly to Curtis Johnson. Johnson fighting for the first down, and he's going to be close. Knocked out of bounds by Lemansky Hall, the leading tackler for Alabama.
Well, you know, we talked about the option play of North Carolina, but Mack Brown comes out with 3 straight passes. He said to beat this Alabama team, he had to be wide open. Now, they're a good screen team. They're a good draws team. They're a good screen team. And these backs, both Curtis Johnson and Leon Johnson, are good receivers. But the Tide are very good tacklers. Very good tacklers. Have been all year, particularly in the secondary. And they force a Carolina punt.
4th down and a yard. And the punting this year has not been as good as a year ago. Mike Thomas, who last year was an All-ACC pick, really has struggled punting the ball. And the ever-dangerous David Palmer is back. That one not hit very well. And it's actually going to take an Alabama bounce back to the 32-yard line. And so Brian Bergdorf will come in after a 30-yard punt that time by Thomas. Bergdorf is a guy who started 3 games, including the SEC title game. He's a good spread-out option guy, doesn't have a strong arm, and as we mentioned at the top of this broadcast, he wants desperately to get the confidence of Gene Stallings.
Yeah, and to help a quarterback get confident, Gary, you have to give him a chance early in the game. You know, you pick up a few first downs. You know, you throw a screen pass or 2. Give him a chance to settle in and feel good about himself in the offensive scheme.
Taryn Lynch and Chris Anderson in the backfield behind Bergdorf. Toby Shields is starting at center. We wanted to check to be sure he could go. He's playing with a stress fracture. We'll talk more about that. Anderson Anderson, maybe a yard. Big hit that time by Austin Robbins. Robbins, number 98, out of Washington, D.C. Let's check the rest of the Alabama offense. Anderson will be alternating there with Sherman Williams, David Palmer, the Deuce, Kevin Lee, world-class speed at that wide receiver position. And we mentioned Kobe Shields. He's really playing with a bad leg. They're going to watch him closely, see how long he can go in this contest. 2nd and 9. Bergdorf. Little flare pass to Anderson. Anderson zips up across the 40, a couple of yards short of the first down. Troy Barnett, the nose tackle, over to make the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down and still 2 yards to go. Michael Payne and Barnett, who just made the stop a while ago, and Robbins up front in this defensive forward wall. Bernardo Harris, 2nd team All-ACC. Mike Morton replacing their captain, Rick Steinbacher, who they are going to miss desperately in the run. And the 2 Seans in the secondary, Crocker and Boyd. Gracie Walker, an All-American. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. On the option, Bergdorf, who pitches. Anderson trying to come up with it. It goes on the far side of the field, and Alabama retains possession, and it's going to bring up a, did they get far enough for the first down? That's the question. Where the ball went out of bounds, they're indicating it will be a 4th down and still a yard to go. Dangerous pitch that time by Bergdorf.
Yeah, it looked like he was hit and he was going down and tried to pitch, much like Stanisiak was able to do it for North Carolina this year. It looked like Bergdorf held on to the last moment, but he couldn't get enough oomph on the ball, and it fell short of the trailing back.
So Bergdorf not getting the confidence of Gene Stallings as he comes to the near sideline.
A good Carolina defense, too, on that 3rd down play.
Here's a very fine punter, Brian Deal. 2nd best average ever in Alabama history. Line drive affair, kicking it away to the near side. The ball inside the 10-yard line. Eventually, it's picked up and returned out by Stephen Jerry, and he's going to be dropped inside the 15. That's a 51-yard punt. A line drive affair, a 7-yard return, and so from the 14-yard line, that's where North Carolina will have it. No score from the Gator Bowl. 10:44 to go. First quarter from Jacksonville.
From Gillette comes a revolutionary form of antiperspirant protection. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Because it's a clear, clean, powerful gel, it goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. All-day protection against both wetness and odor. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. One of the advanced deodorants and antiperspirants in the Gillette series.
Introducing the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was, and more.
Roll Tide roll, and there they are, some of the fanatics. What traditions they have at Alabama. 12 national championships. That punt was very effective. By Deal, didn't look like it was going to be, but it ended up pinning them inside the 15.
And Gary, you know the thing about Gene Stallings' teams, well, all Alabama teams for years and years were able to beat you with special teams. They're very, very solid in the kicking game. You know, their punting game, their kicking game, their coverage games. David Palmer returns. I mean, this is a team that can beat you with special teams.
Well, they lost 24 yards in this exchange of punts, they being North Carolina. Pat, the question you have is, will North Carolina not go to the option game? They did not in that first series.
Well, Mack Brown wanted to open it up early and then settle back in with an option game later on in the first quarter.
Curtis Johnson, single running back. Stanisiak, quarterback draw, out across the 15 to the 18-yard line and buried there. A lot of Crimson Tide players on top of him, led by Michael Rogers, number 52. So Stanisiak not very big, but extremely quick.
Yeah, and you talked about his decision-making, and I think his feel for the game and his confidence. And I think his toughness rubs off on other players. And that when he's playing good, if he plays well, Mack Brown says we should win this game. If we get good play out of our quarterback, we should win this game.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Stanisic, direct handoff to Curtis Johnson. Johnson across the 20 to the 22. They're still going to be 3 yards short of the first down. A 3rd down coming up. Remember now, this team averaged almost 6 yards each time they snapped the football. What an offense they had this year. 5.9. In fact, on first downs, a remarkable statistic, 6.6 yards.
Well, they're unusual. You know, Mack Brown is a very good offensive coach. You know, wherever he's been, his teams have scored points. But it's an unusual team in that they can beat you 3 different ways. Passing with the option and with some power.
3rd down, a long 2. Giving off again to Curtis Johnson. He's got the first down. Cedric Samuel, a true freshman, number 13. Make that Leon Johnson, the other part of that firm of Johnson & Johnson. And he's the ACC Rookie of the Year, and you can see why with that burst.
And the blocks on the left side, Sean Hawkers, number 78, on the little trap play. He just kind of hugs Sean Hawkers' block, number 78, and just feels his way in there. Now, mind, Leon Johnson was a quarterback up until a year ago, still learning to play the position. But when you have that trap and you can hug that guard, you have a chance to play.
First down now at the 30-yard line for UNC. And this time, Stanisic has buried Jeremy Nunley, and this is who Mack Brown feared. He feels that Nunley is one of the best football players he's seen in a long time, and there was evidence of it there.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he said if we don't control number 73, Nunley, we're not going to win this football game, because he is a disruptor. Jeremy Nunley is a disruptor, number 73. I mean, you see how he just took his inside shoulder underneath the guard there? I mean, he gets off the ball so quickly. He's a penetrator. He's a guy that'll move around. He doesn't stay blocked, and he hustles.
You see the 10 sacks he had, 19 in his career. Loss brings up now 2nd down, 15. Stanisic, a little delayed handoff. Leon Johnson, not any place to go. Across the 25 to the 26, and Darrell Blackburn made the stop there.
Well, Gary, it's very early in this ball game, but this game is turning out thus far to be kind of a defensive game and a field position type of game. And if it's going to turn out that way, I mean, Alabama really has the advantage because of their special teams and kicking game. So this 3rd and long, I think, is a very important down for Carolina.
And it is long. 3rd down and 13. Mack Brown, 42 years old, head coach, Appalachian State, along with Tulane, before coming to North Carolina and Chapel Hill. Stanisic, a flag on the play, complete. The catch is made by the fullback, William Henderson, and Henderson stopped at the 31, but let's see what the flag is all about. The flag came down early at about the time Stanisic was setting up to throw. The illegal procedure. This is Doyle Jackson, as we have a Southwest Conference set of officials working this game. Doyle Jackson out of Conway, Arkansas. So to bring up a 4th down, and for the 2nd time now, North Carolina is going to have to punt the football away.
Illegal procedure by the offense, which is declined. 4th down.
And for the 2nd time, David Palmer is going to have a chance to touch the ball. Remember, we said 15 different ways they have of getting the ball. This is one of them on punt returns. He's also on the kickoff returns. And again, he can go the distance anytime he touches it. Punts, kickoffs, running the ball, playing quarterback on quarterback draws.
Well, he averaged this year a remarkable number of punt returns, 20.3, as long as 34. Thomas, again, not hitting it all that well, and the ball is going to go out of bounds at the 39 of Alabama. That's a 30-yard punt, so 2 30-yard punts now by Mike Thomas. Alabama will have the football when we come back. 7:15 to go in this first quarter. No score.
When it comes to tough hand tools, we're making a name for ourselves because they're made with a full lifetime warranty. That's Ace, the name to know for hand tools.
Come on, let's decide.
I want the beach.
Mommy, I just want to have fun.
Well, how about some golf?
I think I've got it. Look at this. Jacksonville, Florida. It's got everything.
Jacksonville, Florida, your everything vacation destination. Call today, 1-800-733-2668.
New popcorn shrimp at Long John Silver's. By the pound or by the meal, you get a lot for a little. But this offer won't last long, so pop in soon. Long John Silver's shrimp.
Tonight's appearance by the Blockbuster Video Blimp, Blockbuster that is part of the 1993 maiden tour through the eastern half of the United States. We welcome the Blockbuster Video Blimp and its crew to tonight's broadcast as they look above a stadium that's going to be renovated as they get ready for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 1995.
Hey, I want you to get those teeth fixed in 94, would you?
Blockbuster. We'll get it all down here. Line of scrimmage will be the 39-yard line as Alabama with it. No score, 7:15 to go in this first quarter. Sherman Williams now in the backfield along with Terrence Lynch. Little delay fake. Bergdorf over the middle, wide open is the tight end, Tony Johnson. He's to the 25-yard line. Gracie Walker caught up with him after a 36-yard gain, and Tony Johnson, a sophomore out of Como, Mississippi, had 12 catches in the regular season. First down at the 25.
It started with beautiful pass protection. Toby Shields, number 61, the center. Deason, number 67, the right guard. They double-team the nose tackle. And it gives Bergdorf plenty of time, absolutely plenty of time to get the ball downfield to his tight end.
Well, that's got to give Bergdorf some confidence. Setting it up at the 25. David Palmer goes in motion. Bergdorf throws to him. Palmer inside the 25, dances to the 20 and is buried there. Boy, he's fun to watch in the open field. Sean Crocker, the corner, coming up to lead the charge defensively. Gain of 5 on the play. Second down, 5 from the 20.
Yeah, David Palmer can make you miss in a phone booth. This guy is incredible. He is strong. I mean, he's another one of those football players you see that is short but strong. He's not a small, he's small in height, but he's a very strong player and can make people miss.
Bergdorf now perfect 3 of 3 for 49 yards. Second and 5 from the 20. And off this time to Sherman Williams. He's inside the 20 to the 19. It'll bring up a third down and still 4 yards to go for Alabama. They have an outstanding field goal kicker if they have to go to him, an All-America, Michael Proctor, maybe as good as anybody in the country. They love the way he has kicked. He's hit 13 of his last 14 field goals as Chad Key now comes in, replacing Kevin Lee at a wideout. Third down, 4.
This is a down and distance that David Palmer has owned for Alabama this year.
Bergdorf, play action, got time, throwing for the end zone. Palmer going up inside the 5, and that'll bring up a field goal situation.
David Palmer just running a little corner route. He's in the slot there, number 2. He's going to get a jam, which was what you want to do out of the linebacker. That's good. But he cut it off a little short on a deep out, and the quarterback really didn't have enough room to throw that ball to be able to lead him.
That's a good point. The angles are really important.
Yeah, absolutely. You got on that kind of route, you have to give the quarterback a little bit more room to be able to drill it in there.
37-yard field goal by Michael Proctor is on the way, and Michael Proctor missed it. After hitting 13 of his last 14, 22 of 29 throughout the season, misses a 37-yarder. Big rush that time by Jimmy Hitchcock. Still no score.
New Year's Eve, the wildest party of the night, is on TBS. 4 movies to start '94 with a bang.
You mean you're gonna give it to us?
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're gonna give you Animal House, Losing It, Hot Times at Montclair High, and Lunch Wagon.
It'll be the greatest night of our lives.
The TBS New Year's Eve movie party, beginning 10:35 Eastern, tonight on TBS.
Excuse me, you kind of in charge of stocking stuff around here?
Yes, sir.
I notice you stock a lot of stuff on the bottom shelves, like you stock Duracell batteries in the top shelf, and you stock the other batteries in the bottom shelf. Is there a reason for that?
Well, Duracell is a better seller brand.
Are you using Duracell batteries in that gizmo there?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Can you show us?
I can't open it because
you can't open
I'll
it?
lose the program.
You lose the whole program?
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll take your word for it as a grocer.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Maybe the butcher knows why.
Little condolence there to Proctor, who's the All-America. Proctor missing the field goal from 37 yards, and so North Carolina takes over at the 20-yard line.
Well, you know, from North Carolina, we've seen an awful lot of passing attempts in their first drive. In their second drive, they come out and ran the ball. But they really haven't been effective. We've yet to see that option play. And when they opened the season against Southern Cal, and they're looking for those bookends, we talked about those wins over Southern Cal and Alabama, they were very, very effective with the option play, and they stuck with it.
Stanisic really makes good decisions on it. Little confusion on this play. A flag on the play. Stanisic rolls out, completes the pass. The catch is made by Freddie Jones, the tight end. Jones is inside the 35 to the 30. But let's see what the flag is all about. So both teams now throwing big completions to their tight ends. This is a 50-yard gain if it stands.
You talk about good decisions, whether it's a penalty or not against Carolina. That was a great decision by Stanisic.
No, it's offside against Alabama, so it'll go as a 50-yard gain to the 30.
The first option play of the game. It's going to be right here. There's the play. The man over Felice. But what? First he fights through a tackle, and then he waits to the very last moment, and the defense had committed to the option when he threw the pass downfield. He has the option of running it himself, pitching it, or throwing it, and he waits to the very last moment to get the ball to the tight end in 50 yards. That's a great decision.
Freddie Jones had 9 catches coming into this game. Obviously his longest reception of the year, a 50-yarder. This time Stanisic on the option, tries to get up the field. It's not there, and good coverage that time. Elverick Brown, number 76, a junior out of Montgomery, came flying up there, and this is what they want to do, Pat, is dictate to North Carolina what they want them to do with the option.
Yeah, Gene Stallings was saying for us to win, he said we have to stop the option, and in order to be able to do that, they wanted to force Stanisic to make up his mind quickly. They don't want him 8-10 yards downfield before he decides whether he's going to pitch it or run it.
Curtis Johnson has come back into the ball game. William Henderson, the fullback. Second down now, 11. Bucky Brooks in motion. And what a hit is laid on. The ball comes out to 35. And Stanisic tried to option a freeze option. And all of a sudden, Brown was on top of him. And nothing developed on this play.
Elverick Brown, number 76, was supposed to be the guy who replaced Eric Curry and John Copeland.
An illegal procedure against North Carolina, but Alabama with that defensive stop will refuse it as it's a loss back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, one way to stop an option team is to get a lot of quick and early penetration, and that's just what the Alabama defense did.
Declined, it's third down.
Stanisic, when you freeze option, you stand up like that. He's not going to be able to do that, doesn't look like, the way they're penetrating this game thus far.
Well, the Alabama defense is a defense that creates a lot of negative plays.
Third down now, 13 yards to go. Stanisic, straight drop back this time, the ball incomplete. The intended receiver was Brooks at the 32, and it's fourth down. Pretty good coverage that time. Sam Shade, first team all-SEC pick.
Yeah, you know, this Alabama team for years has played great pass defense. I mean, 22 interceptions on the year. Sam Shade, the strong safety, yet can play close to the line of scrimmage, but also guard a wide receiver with some speed, as Bucky Brooks had. So Sam Shade, the strong safety, did a very nice job there.
North Carolina has called a timeout with 3:45 to go in this first quarter. When we come back, it'll be 4th and 13 for the Tar Heels.
I love steak, especially a thick, juicy T-bone.
A1 all over the top.
Perfect. Wonderful.
I'm in the mood for something spicy. tongue-tingling spicy. Spice is just...
It gets you here, and it gets you right here.
I want something with gumption.
Something with a peppery kick that's spicy. A1 Bold. Yeah, that's what I'm in the mood for.
Original A1 and A1 Bold. They're how steak is done.
The great masters. They defined civilization in Europe for centuries. Now we're defining civilization on the way there. United Airlines' renowned international service to 15 cities all across Europe. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Gary Bender, Pat Hayden, and Craig Sager from the Gator Bowl, and Carolina's going to go for it on 4th and 13. This year, they're 6 of 19 on 4th down.
And the critical thing is, if they throw it, is to make sure the receivers run the routes at least 15 yards so that you don't catch it short of the markers.
And so, Stanisic, after the timeout, at the line of scrimmage. 4th down, 13 yards to go. You know, they haven't been getting very good punting from Mike Thomas. He had 2 30-yard punts previous to this, as Leon Johnson is in the backfield. Stanisic, pressure coming. Going for all of it. Marcus Wall dropped it. Marcus Wall evidently shielded a little bit. The defender in front of him could not come up what would have been 6 points, as Willie Gaston, 22, was in the vicinity.
Yeah, Gaston, number 22, will distract him. Good protection, and Stanisic really hung in the pocket. But it was a ball that I don't think was tipped. Should have been caught by Wall. He's the slot man, number 14. Just runs a little simple little go route. It is open. The ball's thrown late, and that gives Gaston a chance to get there. It was not tipped. The ball should have been caught for a touchdown.
So on 4th and 13, they almost pull it off. From the 34 now, the Tide has the football. They're going to have a reverse. To Palmer, he's going to throw. Now he elects to run. He had a man down the field. He's to the 45. He's got the first down. He had Kevin Lee on a streak, and he was going to throw it. Thought better of it. Tucked it under his arm and gained 13 yards.
You know, David Palmer plays the game like we used to in our backyards. You know, although he's still doing it on a very high level. You know, you go deep. I'll make some guys miss. I'll throw you the ball. And this one, you know, you'd much rather see him, if you're a defensive coordinator, him throwing the football than running it. Because he can stop, he can start, and he can run through tackles.
Gene Stallings says he just makes people miss. 13-yard gain to the 46. A late handoff. Sherman Williams, nothing. Lost a yard on the play. Oscar Sturgis, a former tight end, number 80, now playing linebacker, made the stop. By the way, we have a change at center, as John Causey, a redshirt freshman, has come in replacing Toby Shields, who's been playing with that stress fracture in the lower leg, and so possibly not able to make a go of it. We'll try to get an update on him. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. From the spread, pressure coming, a little screen over the middle to Sherman Williams. Nice spin move, and he's going to get the first down as he lunges forward. There is a flag at the 47. Nice move by Sherman Williams, who started this year with 5 straight 100-yard games. Then he got hurt and never did pick it up at that pace again. We had an illegal man downfield. Let's go down to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, the Alabama players are experiencing what George Toma predicted, and that is the field is very soft and slick. Chris Donnelly just came over and he changed his shoes. Michael Proctor, who missed the field goal, was also talking about how the footing was possibly bad there. He wasn't using it as an excuse, but of course they don't use a tee in college football, and that ball was sitting pretty deep in the grass. So Alabama has gone in and they've changed their cleats, and now they have the longer ones as well. Gary?
As a penalty now, will bring it back, an illegal man downfield back to the 40-yard line. So that nice completion over the middle to Williams comes back, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 16. And Stallings saying, now wait a minute, where I was standing, he was not downfield illegally. Nice visit with Gene. What a wonderful family as his wife Ruth Ann and son John Mark here at the game. Here's Bergdorf in trouble. Oh, is he buried on that? It'll be incomplete. Troy Barnett, the nose man, was in his face. And that is exactly what Mac Brown said about Barnett. He bats balls down, and there's a good example of it.
Yeah, you don't see too many nose tackles bat down as many balls as Troy Barnett, number 91, does. But if you're a nose guard and you hustle, good things can happen, and Barnett is always hustling.
Out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. He wants to be a Secret Service agent when he comes out of college. And I think whatever he wants somebody to do, they'll listen.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Third down now, long ways to go, 3rd and 16. Blitz coming from Jacobs, the linebacker. He tries to hit Malone on the near side. Toderick Malone, incomplete. Boy, did this guy come after him. Ray Jacobs.
Exceptionally nice catch on the sideline, though, there by one of the ball boys. Did you see that?
Give that guy a scholarship.
Stab. Man. Now, this ball is thrown out of harm's way, which is a good decision by Bergdorf. Yes. Oh, yes. Sign that kid up.
Great hand.
Send him deep on the deep out route on the next 3rd and 8.
What I want to know is he a good enough student? He must be. He's standing on the side. Here's Deal. Beautiful punt. Beautiful punt. Stephen Jerry will take it inside the 10, out to the 15, and North Carolina does not have good field position once again. And right now, as we anticipated, Alabama's getting the best of the kicking game. That was a 51-yard punt, the second 51-yard punt for Brian Deal.
When you punt the ball as well as Deal does and Alabama covers it, I mean, you force an offensive team to go, 70 yards, 80 yards. That is very difficult to do against a defense that blitzes and penetrates and stunts. I mean, you're going to have some big plays against the Alabama defense, but it's hard to drive them 80 yards consistently. No score. 2 minutes, 1 second remaining here in this first quarter. Stanisic giving off to Curtis Johnson. Johnson maybe a couple of yards to the 20-yard line. As you look at this Alabama defense, last year, after 11 games, they were number 1 in every defensive category. They came into this game ranked 5th overall, but 2nd in pass defense, and had 22 interceptions. That tied 4 other schools for the most in the country. Yeah, their defense played well enough to win the SEC, Gary. Offensively is where they had the problems with the 26 turnovers, particularly the interceptions the last 5 games. 13 interceptions. That's been their downfall. 2nd down and 8 from the 20. Stanisic being chased out. Shannon Brown is after him, gets rid of it, and that's all he could do. And some of the fans feeling maybe that Stanisic was hit late on the far side, but I do not see any flags. Elbrick Brown was giving chase after Shannon Brown had flushed him out on the far side. There have been a lot of 3rd and long situations for both offenses tonight. Good defense, good 1st down defense, good 2nd down defenses by both teams. And these are teams that really cannot win the game offensively if you're in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 10. And that's what they're in right now, is 3rd and 8. Average to go on 3rd down, Roger Riley, our statistician, pointed out, has been 8.6. So that just verifies what you said. Whoops, goes in motion. They're coming after it. He gets it off to Holiday, Corey Holiday, and the co-captain hammered at the 25. That's 4 yards short of the 1st down. Was he hit? Belted by Tommy Johnson, a cornerback, and it'll bring up a 4th down for North Carolina. Gary, I got to tell you, this Alabama defense has impressed me so far, the way they rallied to the football. I thought Holiday had something going there on a screen. He had a little crease for a moment, and then about 3 or 4 Crimson Tide jerseys just surrounded him and forced another punt. This is what Thomas did last year, but this year has not punted near as well. 37.7 average. He almost got it blocked. He got this one underway very effectively, though. Palmer with a fair catch at the 32. Willie Gaston was the guy who got almost into the face of Mike Thomas and blocked it. It ends up being a 43-yard punt under duress. You know, Carolina thinks they can block a punt, but Alabama comes right after him. You know, it's a good strategy against a punter who is struggling. I mean, even if you don't get it, he's certainly thinking about it some more.
Well, the NBA action will continue on TNT. January kicks off a busy month. The Sonics and Suns, and they just met where Dan Marley hit a three-pointer with 7 seconds to go to defeat them the first time. And the Bulls and Magic. The Bulls had their 10-game winning streak snapped last night. So we'll be telling you all about the NBA on TNT throughout the course of the night. That carry now by Chris Anderson brings it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. So we have no score, even though both teams have had big plays to their tight ends. Alabama missing a field goal, and then a sack setting up a 4th and 13. And then Carolina had a touchdown pass dropped in the end zone as we come to the end now of the first quarter. And there it is, the Jacksonville Landing on the St. Johns River, the new home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, as the final day of 1993.
Corning presents an exciting debut, Pink Plus, a new insulation that's silky to the touch. The reason? Pink Plus is our famous pink fiberglass insulation wrapped in smooth pink poly, which also makes it extra easy to install. So get in touch with a premier insulation. For the Pink Plus dealer nearest you, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
Jim Fansler's cold won't give him a minute's rest. But he's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime. It speeds powerful medicines to free your breathing, relieve your runny nose, soothe your aches, and quiet your cough so you can rest, all without alcohol. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime.
No score after the first 15 minutes, Pat. There could have been one, though. As we go back, Marcus Wall should have had 6 points in the end zone.
Yeah, this is a 3rd and long play. I think it was 3rd and 13 for Carolina. I mean, so 4th down, 4th and 13. Stanisiak really hung in the pocket, threw it well, a little bit late. And although Gaston got in the way, I felt that ball was catchable. Would have been a tough catch, but catchable. Carolina would have had a chance to get on the scoreboard.
So on 4th and 13, they didn't get it. The old Gator lazily kind of joined himself on the sideline. Looked like he ate too much.
You turn in 3 water guns and you get one of those at the gate.
By the way, Toby Shields has come back in at center now for Alabama as we start the second quarter. 2nd down and 6 for the Tide. Bergdorf on a rollout, and David Palmer makes the catch. He went high and has a first down catch at the 44-yard line. Sean Crocker defending on the play.
Well, Gary, we have seen thus far in the first half David Palmer catch a ball. He ran one play, and he's returned a punt. Now, this is a tough catch and a high throw, but what Alabama will do is they'll force the ball into David Palmer. They'll give him enough chances. I mean, sometimes teams, it's difficult to get the ball to a wide receiver enough, but when he's as good a player as David Palmer is, you give him some chances. Even when he's covered, Gary, you'll throw the ball up and let him make a play.
2 catches now for 13 yards, rushed 1 time for 13 yards. Bergdorf from the spread, stepping up in the pocket, wide open is Palmer. He's got it at the 20. He came flashing across the middle. Sean Boyd, the safety, caught up with him, but that's a 36-yard completion to the 20-yard line.
Alabama's defense and Alabama's special team has set up their offense in this game. Palmer a moment ago caught an out route. Then he comes right back, fakes outside, runs the post pattern, a well-thrown ball by Bergdorf. He drilled it inside away from the safety, and another big gain for the Crimson Tide.
Well, he had a 36-yard completion earlier to his tight end. Here's a 36-yarder to the 20-yard line. First down. He's 5 of 8, 93 yards as Bergdorf. Herman Williams in the backfield. Williams off tackle and knocked down just short of the 15-yard line.
No, but I like that about Gene Stallings and now the quarterback coach there. They're giving their players, the guy that can beat you, David Palmer, a chance. And even times when he may be double covered and he may have people all around him, you let him have a chance to make an athletic play. Now, in the post pattern, he was open, but they'll throw the ball to him when he's covered as well because they have confidence that even when covered, he can make people miss after a catch.
Well, he gets a breather now, and Chad Key comes in to replace him, and we're going to have a timeout called by Alabama. That will be their first. And so we have 13:41 left in this first half. We'll be coming back with a second down and 5 yards to go, and the Tide is threatening.
Come on, let's decide.
I want the beach.
Mommy, I just want to have fun.
Well, how about some golf?
I think I've got it. Look at this. Jacksonville, Florida. It's got everything.
Jacksonville, Florida, your everything vacation destination. Call today, 1-800-733-2668.
25 years the club's been taking this vacation. Maybe it should have been 24.
Welcome to Dollar. Something in a full size?
As long as there's room for my hog.
For as much room as you need. Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
All right, everybody, hands on the wheel at 10
Call
and
your
2.
travel agent or 1-800-800-4000.
No score, but Alabama now threatening. Gene Stallings last year, 13-0, a national championship. One of the finest defenses in the history of the game. After leaving the Phoenix Cardinals, coming over, going 7-5, 11-1. This year, 8-3-1. He was an assistant to the Bear. He played for the Bear and sounds and looks a little bit like the Bear from time to time.
You know, they really had, I think, a very good year considering all the injuries. But, you know, hanging around them this week, they were almost defensive about losing those 3 ball games. I guess that's what happens when you're the head coach at Alabama and you're coming off a national championship season.
They expect to win in Tuscaloosa, don't they? Second down 5 after the timeout. Pitch to Sherman Williams. Williams at the 15 and gets to the 12. He's going to be short of the first down. Need to get just about to the 10-yard line. Sean Boyd, strong safety, over to make the stop. Also in on that play, linebacker Eddie Mason.
Well, Carolina had one big play in the first quarter. It was a 4th down. But for Alabama, this is their biggest offensive play of the game. It's third, about 2 to go here. And even though they have a good field goal kicker, he missed his first one. And they have to be thinking touchdowns. Because if they can put a touchdown or 2 on the board with their defense, they're going to be tough to beat.
Look at that in the second quarter. The Tide has dominated. And right now trying to add to that advantage. Palmer goes in motion. And up to Terrence Lynch, the fullback, and I think he got it. He has a 1st and goal. Hammers it inside the 10. Kerry Mock, 57. The linebacker stopped him, and they may have to measure to see. Terrence Lynch, big, cruising guy, out of Town Creek, Alabama, 224-pounder. And where they marked that ball, from our vantage point, I think they've got it. They didn't even need to get to the 10-yard line, and they're almost on top of it. So the sticks will come out with 13:27 to go in this first half. And it is a 1st and goal now for Alabama.
Now here's the player, Mock, that's going to make the play up here. Palmer's in motion is actually one-on-one, but this linebacker is going to come right in here and make the tackle. But not before Terrence Lynch bowled his way in for the first down. I mean, yeah, he made the contact, but he just gave him a shoulder, kept the legs moving. And if you don't let a linebacker at your legs, you have a chance of making some yards after contact.
Williams in the backfield, receivers left and right. Here comes Williams inside the 10. He's to the 5 and tripped up there. It'll be 2nd and goal from that point. Gracie Walker, they call him the hitman, was there to make the stop. The All-America pick, the senior, and it's going to bring up 2nd and goal on the 5-yard line. Alabama in the red zone this year had it in there 53 times and scored on 43 of them. Out on 1st and goal 25 times this year, they scored all but once. 8th play of the drive, 2nd and goal. Timeout, and so they burned their 2nd. Bergdorf will come to the near sideline as Mal Moore, the assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach, standing there with Gene Stallings. And so they'll have one timeout remaining with 12:27 to go in the second quarter. So from the 5, second down and goal.
Well, you know, this is Gene Stallings would love to have a power offense, a power team, to be able to just jam the ball in there. But this is a team that's been, you know, really devastated by injuries. Now Toby Shields, the centers, you know, kind of banged up. And so, you know, you give, again, a guy like David Palmer, perhaps, another chance. And he's the guy that, you know, scored a 2-point play against Tennessee to tie it up.
Well, a lot of times you'll see number 2 go underneath center when they get in here in this area. So you got to always watch number 2, the deuce as they call him, where he lines up. And I know we talked to some of the Carolina defensive guys. They said we'll always know where he is before the snap of the ball.
I'll tell you, this has been a nice first half, though, for Brian Bergdorf. And you're talking about confidence. I mean, this is a guy who's playing the position right now with some confidence.
He's 5 of 8, 93 yards. Williams will be in the backfield. Let's see where Palmer lines up. He's going to be split to the near side. They give it to Williams. Williams fighting for the goal line. He's to the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal there.
Now, Sherman Williams, when Gene Stallings was talking to us about him yesterday, saying he's got 2 things I like. I mean, Sherman Williams has enough speed, but what he really has is the ability to make some people miss, and he did it right there. I mean, there was a little bit of a hole, but he squeezed a lot more yardage out of more than was blocked, I promise you. Came outside, cut it back inside, and got the ball down about the, 2-yard line, 1.5-yard line?
1.5 is where they marked it. 3rd and goal. And a great play by Ray Jacobs, the linebacker. That is a huge play. Flying through, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, both these defenses have played remarkably well in this first half. And there have been a lot of big plays on defense, but that is the biggest for the Carolina defense thus far. Ray Jacobs, number 41, he'll be on the right part of the screen. He's an outside linebacker, plays the position with some speed. I mean, he was going to come in there and just knock any red jersey down that he saw, no matter who was carrying the ball.
Proctor, who missed an earlier one from 37, will attempt a 22-yard field goal. And Proctor's kick is on the way, and Alabama's on the scoreboard. So the Tide denied on a 3rd and 1.5 yards to go. Settle for the field goal. 3-0 from the 49th annual Gator Bowl.
The 1993 Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl is brought to you by Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
Finally, there's a TV that proves technology can make our lives easier. A Magnavox TV with a precise color picture, smart windows which preview other channels, and the unique smart sound feature, which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels no matter what comes on. Magnavox is so smart, I didn't even have to show up for this commercial. How'd I do?
Great. You were great. The innovative TVs from Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
In 14 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
The Tide leads at 3-0. Let's go down to Craig Sager.
Well, Gary, I'm with John Swafford, the athletic director of North Carolina, who's renewing old acquaintances, also stepping on the field where he played as a defensive back for Carolina in the 71 Gator Bowl. First of all, your comments on Ray Jacobs' big defensive play here for the Tar Heels.
Greg, we needed that. It's a lot better to be down 3-0 than 7-0. Big play for us.
Mac Brown started out 1-10, then went back to 1-10 again. You hired him. What made you want to stay with him as coach?
Well, the first 2 years, nobody likes to be 1-10. That's a tough period for our fans to go through, our players, everybody else. But Mac handled that in such a positive way, Craig, and he was doing everything fundamentally right, that you knew that eventually the way he was doing things, it would turn around. And fortunately, the third year, it began to turn, and he's done a tremendous job rebuilding this football program.
A win tonight would put your football team in the top 10 along with your basketball team.
Well, we would hope so, and our women's basketball team. They're number 5 in the nation right now.
All right, thanks for being with us, Gary.
All right, John, also the president of NACTA, the National Athletic Directors Association, and wonderful guy. Good to see him again.
Yeah, he is. They've got a great women's soccer program there at Carolina. I think they've won 8 championships in a row, and they have what would be the Heisman Trophy winner, Mia Hamm, as their lead soccer player. I'm telling you, this girl can play. Thought you want to know that, Gary.
Yeah, I mean,
I read all the material.
Research here.
I read all the material.
Okay. The Wild thing kicks off again, and he gets into it pretty well. Marcus Wall at the 2. And Wall buried at the 18-yard line. So Carolina now trailing in this game 3-0. 10:56 to go in the first half. Mickey Kahn was the guy flying down there to make the stop.
Well, you know, Carolina on offense has not been able to get Johnson and Johnson loose. Curtis, 2 carries for 5 yards. Leon, 2 carries for 11. And you see where they've had bad field position because of the great special teams. Really, special teams for Alabama has been the story of this game, I think.
We're going to mark the ball just short of the 20. UNC will start here. Stanisic rolling out. And up the field, the completion is made to Corey Holiday, and Holiday is all the way out to the 48-yard line. He's fun to watch. He's a graduate student out of Richmond, Virginia, the all-time leading receiver at North Carolina. He had 50 catches coming into this game, and that's a 29-yard game.
Now, what Corey Holiday does very well is make up his mind quickly coming out of a break and after a catch. I mean, this ball gets gunned by Stanisic, and he doesn't waste any time. As soon as he catches it, he turns right upfield and makes some things happen. The yards after the catch were a big thing for Corey Holiday this year.
Stanisic now 6 of 10 for 97 yards. So they get some field position. Stanisic rolling out again at the flash and being chased by Gregory. Got away from him and threw it away. I tell you, James Gregory is a load. He was coming after Stanisic. They list Gregory. Look at him at 280. I think he passed 280 a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of guts, as you can see.
That's terrible.
No, but he was moving pretty good there.
Out of Sumner High School in St. Louis. Second down and 10 yards to go. I think he had too much at Thanksgiving. And maybe New Year's, I don't know, Christmas, whatever.
All the holidays.
Yes. Henderson and Leon Johnson in the backfield now for North Carolina. Stanisic going deep. Holiday is there, and it's incomplete. He had it for a moment. And the freshman, a true freshman, Cedric Samuel, from Demopolis, Alabama, getting his first start, even though he's been used in a nickel situation, went up and kept him from catching the football.
You know, if this ball is thrown inside and away from the defender, see, he's got it on the outside, it's a big, big play. But because the ball was thrown upfield, it allowed Cedric Samuel to get back into play. Holiday tried to make a nice adjustment, but I think if the ball were thrown away from the defender, he could have run under it, running away from Cedric Samuel.
Holiday's a big guy, 6'2", 204 pounds. Samuel only 5'9". 3rd and 10. From the spread, Stanisic over the middle. Holiday again to the 30, and right now it's Stanisic to Holiday. That's the number. A 23-yard gain to go with that 26-yard catch earlier. First down at the 29-yard line of the Crimson Tide.
You know what you really have to like about Holiday is his consistency. I mean, he has been the leading receiver for 4 straight years for Carolina. And when you do that, your quarterback knows you're going to get open. He's going to get open over the middle. He's not going to give you, the Venus de Milo with no arms out there. He's going to stretch out and catch the ball and do something after the catch. And that's exactly what Stanisic is seeing in Corey Holiday.
Got a hold up right now. They have the chain gang all tangled up on the far side. You know, there's been a lot of said about Holiday, maybe playing on Sundays in the future. He has that toughness, they think, of an Andre Reed who will catch anything over the middle, and that's what Holiday does so very well.
He was one of those great, you know, get open and catch the ball kind of guys. Doesn't make mistakes. Good leader on this team, one of their captains.
From the 29, first down. On the option, Stanisic pitches at the last moment to Leon Johnson. Oh, that's what we're talking about on the decision-making. He looked like he couldn't possibly get that off, and the decision-making was superb.
You know, just what you have, you think what you want. The quarterback carrying the ball and not one of the 1,000-yard rushers. All of a sudden, he decides, I'm still going to pitch it. And that's why you have to defend the option 8-10 yards down the field. I mean, he has done this all year long. That is superb decision-making and really a heads-up Leon Johnson to stay alive.
Watch some tape. He did that against Duke. Same kind of play, except to the near side of the field. First down at the 11-yard line. Stanisic dumps it off to Leon Johnson to the 10. 5, diving. He was great. No indication yet. The officials are not indicating he's in. North Carolina thought he got in. They're going to mark the ball just short of the goal line.
Well, Leon Johnson, we said he's a good receiver. Was a quarterback and just until this year. Picks up a nice block by Ethan Albright, number 64, the right tackle. But 31, Sam Shade, the free safety, slips. You saw the block on the corner, or the linebacker, where they say he was short the end zone. I thought from that look he actually did get in.
He didn't get the ball in there. His elbow's coming down just short of the goal line. Henderson, the fullback, will try to get it in. And they're in for the touchdown.
Well, no, the referee is waving it off.
Well, one did indicate touchdown. Now we have a discussion going on. And it's going to be a penalty against Alabama. William Henderson carrying the ball. Lemansky Hall, I think, was the guy that jumped off and did not get back in time.
I'd say that's a pretty good short yardage run by William Henderson, because there was some very good inside penetration.
So what it amounts to now, Pat, is they move the ball to the 3, and it's first and goal from the 3 now for North Carolina.
Well, you know,
offsides by the defense, which is declined. Touchdown.
Oh, now they're indicating the touchdown. Okay. 6-3 now, as Henderson did get in. They waited for a long time, as now the point after now by Pignetti. This is Trip Pignetti, who is out of Charlotte.
But Gary, the option play, which we've talked about all game for Carolina, set up the touchdown run.
Yep. And it was set up after he started throwing the ball. Holiday started getting open as Pignetti now hits it. He came in here with 43 straight points after touchdown, which is an ACC record. 7 plays, 80 yards, and North Carolina with the lead.
And the effort there by William Henderson, because there wasn't a big hole, a lot of Alabama penetration, but William Henderson knew exactly where the end zone was, and now Carolina's up by 4.
2 in a row. First, Kemp meets Barkley. Sonic Suns, Tuesday at 9. And then, look out below! The Bull Battle Shack's Magic, Wednesday at 8 on TNT.
The Gator Bowl Association and the City of Jacksonville wish to thank these corporate sponsors for their continuing support throughout the year. Happy New Year.
Announces the news truck buyers have been waiting for. The best lease ever on Ford F-Series pickups. Now you can lease America's #1 pickup, Ford F-Series, for $229 per month for 24 months, but only for a limited time. These trucks are loaded with features including driver's side airbag, V8 engine, automatic transmission, air conditioning, and the XLT package. Get the best of terms on the best-selling trucks in America. Drive home this loaded F-Series XLT for $229 per month. Hurry, this offer ends January 3rd, 1994. See your Ford dealer now.
Find out who's #1 in college football when USA Today and CNN crown the national champion with a final coaches poll. Your first look after the weekend bowl games on College Coaches Corner, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern on CNN.
William Henderson with his 6th touchdown of the year, and he's being, with Corey Holiday being put into the background as Henderson out of Chester, Virginia. And so the Tar Heels with a 7-3 lead, an impressive drive, 80-yard drive in 7 plays. And it was Holiday who made those big catches over the middle that really set the option game up.
You're right. Alabama played very good defense up until that drive, and a couple of pass plays, and then the option play by Stanisic where, he was downfield, 6-7 yards, pitched it to Leon Johnson. I mean, it was a nice mixture of run and pass, and they're up by 4 points.
They'd only had 11 yards rushing prior to that 18-yard option that Stanisic just beautifully pitched back to Leon Johnson.
But now the Carolina, again, even though they have the lead, the pressure falls right back on them. What do you do about covering David Palmer, who's getting ready to accept this kick?
He and Chris Anderson are back at the 10. Magnetti will kick off. Now, he sky kicks it. This could be a fair catch on this. We watched a lot of tape. He does not kick it deep. He sky kicks it. He's had a pulled groin all year long, which has affected his kickoffs. And that's the sky kick. And they're going to run it up anyway. Kevin Lee will bring it out to the 25, and he's dropped there. From the 25, Alabama with the ball. 9:20 to go in this first half. Well, Bergdorf has done a very creditable job for Alabama, but still finds himself down 7-3.
Yeah, but has been able to find his tight end. Tony Johnson caught a nice pass over the middle. He's also found David Palmer. He's mixed in some run. He's even running a little bit of option himself. So Brian Bergdorf, fighting for confidence, I think, has got to feel pretty good about the way he's played this first half.
Kobe Shields is back at center. The consensus all-SEC pick as they start from the 25. Bergdorf, play action. Going deep. Palmer's there, but thrown behind him. Pretty good coverage that time, as that was Sean Crocker, the senior out of Wakefield, Virginia, who has 4 interceptions this year and 10 in his career. And so that play will bring up 2nd down 10.
That's a ball that you got to keep in the field to play, again, to give a guy like Palmer a chance, even if he's covered. But if you throw it out of bounds, no chance.
Bergdorf out of Cedartown, Georgia. A guy who started 3 games, pressed into service when Jay Barker went down with a shoulder problem. Started the SEC title game. Did not really play all that well. He was 9 of 12 for 71 yards in the loss to Florida. On a 2nd and 10, play action again by Bergdorf. Throwing near side, and the tight end Tony Johnson makes the catch. Slips at the 28-yard line, so still around 7 yards to go for a first down.
Alabama does have some good tight ends. They just have not been able, other than maybe tonight, they really haven't done a very good job of getting them the ball often. Now, Tony Johnson now has 2 catches, one down the middle on a deep pattern, now one out in the flat.
3rd and 6 now for the Tide. Kevin Lee split to the near side, Palmer to the top of the field. From the spread, Bergdorf to Kevin Lee. He's got world-class speed, and that'll be a first down. This is a guy that's really learned to catch the ball out of Mobile, Alabama.
Bergdorf pass is complete to Kevin Lee. That's a first down.
At halftime, we're going to look ahead to the Orange Bowl as Florida State and Nebraska tangle. And Craig Sager had a chance to visit with Bobby Bowden and Tom Osborne. And then we'll also have the North Carolina and Alabama marching band. So stay with us.
It's a good interview.
In Jacksonville. Yes, it is. Yeah. Very interesting insights on their philosophy. There's Bergdorf. Mishandled snap. Has to fall on it. Back at the 35-yard line.
Bergdorf fumbles at the 35-yard line. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention,
loss of 4 on the play. Line of scrimmage will be the 35. You mentioned the fact that Alabama has really been having trouble turning the ball over. 13 interceptions in their last 5 games. Last year at this time, Gene Stallings said we were a plus 18 in the giveaway takeaway. We're now only at a plus 4. 2nd and 14. Play action again by Bergdorf. Scrambling out of there. Breaks the tackle. He's a good runner. Here he comes. 45-50. And he's got the first down to the North Carolina 44. A 19-yard scramble ad-lib effort that time. Jimmy Hitchcock eventually made the stop.
Yeah, he looks pretty confident to me. Now Brian Bergdorf is no little smurf. I mean, he's 6'2", he's 190 pounds, he's a strong guy. I mean, he just kind of went right through an arm tackle there and then had the speed. Picked up a nice block by Tony Johnson, his tight end downfield. But Bergdorf has run this team pretty well in this first half.
Maybe he's getting Gene Stallings' confidence from the 46-yard line now. Bergdorf complete to Chad Key, and the former quarterback who was switched in the spring makes the catch. He's a big target. He stands 6'4". He made the catch, and it'll be a first down. Line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Chad Key said he knew he made the switch from a quarterback to receiver when he once came back to the huddle and said, hey, Jay Barker at the time, I'm open. You know, like every wide receiver's always open. And he knew he made the switch and really was thinking like a wide receiver.
And quarterbacks always hear that, don't they?
Yeah,
I'm open. Throw it to me. First down now at the 34. Pressure coming. Bergdorf reaches. He's to the 30, to the 25, 20. He could go all the way and does. Touchdown, Alabama.
Now, Brian Bergdorf may not have played well against Florida, but he's playing awfully well here this evening. I mean, two big runs gets Alabama in the end zone.
33 yards by Bergdorf. Boy, he really reacted well to the pressure from Carolina coming up the middle. Point after 10 now. Proctor to kick out of the hold of Brian Deal. The kick is up, and now the Tide with the lead. 10-7. 7 plays, 75 yards.
Gary, this may have been a quarterback draw because Bergdorf made up his mind awfully quickly. And once he made up his mind, he was a determined runner and then outran about 3 defenders from Carolina.
I love steak, especially a thick, juicy T-bone. A1 all over the top. Perfect. Wonderful. I'm in the mood for something spicy. Tongue-tingling spicy. Spices just... It gets you here, and it gets you right here. I want something with gumption. Something with a peppery kick that's spicy. A1 Bold. Yeah, that's what I'm in the mood for.
Original A1 and A1 Bold. They're how steak is done.
So this is a fireman's holiday, huh?
Oh, yeah. Family vacation.
Okay. And you say use Duracell batteries in your flashlight at the firehouse?
Oh, yeah.
Copper
no
top.
Kidding. Kind of depend on that, like you depend on your buddies at work. And the battery's always there when I need it, whether I'm crawling through a hallway of a burning building, looking for kids, or whether I'm playing with my own kids right here in the woods.
Ever figure out why Duracell batteries last so long?
They take energy from little kids and they put it into their batteries.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Batteries that don't take a nap.
It's where the Panthers have brought home 3 state titles, and where each May brings a new spring festival queen. Yet Abbeville, South Carolina is also a major financial center because it's served by Nations Bank, giving Canfield Dairy the same resources as any national corporation, providing the Thompsons on Turner Street the investments they'd find on Wall Street, and making sure folks don't have to take a back seat to anyone. In Abbeville and 1,900 other communities throughout our nation.
Now, this was a quarterback draw all the way by Brian Bergdorf, and there's going to be a big seam open up right there. And then you're going to see the wide receiver Malone, number 80, come in and spring a block for him. But a good call by Alabama. There's the block by the wide receiver right there, and he's just going to cut back inside of that block and dance into the end zone. I mean, this is something they've done with David Palmer. Now they're doing it with a very confident Brian Bergdorf. Good play.
That's a very good point, a very confident one. Now, on that drive, he was 3 of 4 for 27 yards passing and rushed 3 times for a total of 48 yards. And, of course, the last 33 on that quarterback draw. Both teams striking quickly now. Alabama took 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Carolina, a minute 36 just before that.
You know, it's funny. First quarter was really a defensive game, kind of a field position game. Now both offenses have really opened up. Kind of fun.
Kind of fun for this guy, too, who really had a tough time trying to step in for Jay Barker. William White hits this one, a peculiar knuckleball, and he's going to be picked up by Stephen Jerry, and Jerry comes running out across the 25 in the vicinity of the 27th. So Carolina's lead was short-lived, and now down by 3, 6:42 to go in a very interesting first half here at the Gator Bowl. Stanisic coming in. He's out of Park Forest, Illinois. Played at Rich East High School. Played for his uncle there.
Yeah, he's got 4 brothers. I mean, you know, when you're the youngest, he's the youngest to 5 brothers, and you are tough. I know you grow up tough when you have a bunch of older brothers.
We used to beat on them all the time. That's what brothers do, isn't that right?
I had 2 older ones.
Pitch comes back to Curtis Johnson, and Johnson close to the 30-yard line. Hit hard that time by Kelvin Moore, a redshirt freshman. Number 95, as they play a lot of players, both sides, and that bodes well for next year. These teams getting a lot of experience in their backup people.
Yeah, Mac Brown has really changed the pace of this game a couple of times with his offense. I mean, he came out, threw the ball early in the game, then he came back and settled into an option game. Now trying to maybe run some more power offense.
From the 30, a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Marcus Wall will go in motion. Looks like Alabama's offside. Stanisic rolling. He comes up the field. Flag on the plays. He comes across the 35, the 40, and he shows he can run the ball as his counterpart could in Bergdorf. That's a 14-yard scramble. I think Alabama was offside. It looked like Kelvin Moore. So this play should stay. So they obviously will take the play. A 14-yard scramble by Stanisic.
Top of the screen.
By the defense, which is declined. Yardage results in 1st down.
Okay, top of the screen. He was offside. And then another good decision by Stanisic. Even though he knew he had a free play, Gary, he did not force the ball. You know, did not throw the interception.
Stanisic came to Carolina, a 177-pounder, and as a freshman ended up starting the last 4 games when they had all their quarterbacks hurt. And he has done a terrific job this year. A miracle year, Mac Brown said. On a 1st down, far side, Leon Johnson. Johnson, by the way, had 29 catches coming into this game. That's a UNC record for a running back.
This is the guy, Leon Johnson, who's only a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman, but as he learns more and more about the position of running back, I mean, he's kind of a slasher and a dancer now. I mean, I think this guy can be a real force. He's got some size. He's 6'1", he's 205. He's got some real speed, but he's still learning about the position of running back.
Well, what talent he brings. What a combination of Johnson and Johnson. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Stanisic feels the pressure, and that ball dropped. Leon Johnson tried to make the catch kind of off of his hip that time. Pretty good coverage by Tyrell Buckner, a freshman out of Denison, Texas, number 92.
You know, Craig Sager has talked about this turf a couple of times. Looked like Stanisic actually slipped with his left foot there as he was trying to get rid of that ball.
3rd down, 10, Carolina.
So it's a 3rd and 10 now with 5:45 to go in the first half. 10-7, Alabama.
We're going to have to get Stanisic some white socks to though. I'll tell you,
well, those tights they wear, he ought to pull the socks up with them.
There they are.
Yeah. Looks like from the 1890s.
Hiding that can.
3rd down, 10. Stanisic, people when he first gets rid of it, it's complete to Leon Johnson, and Johnson scoops for a 1st down to the 45. Michael Rogers caught up, so he just stayed after it and finally got the play he wanted, an 11-yard gain for a 1st down.
You know, Stanisic, he's unusual, and most option quarterbacks won't stand in a pocket. You know, but he stood in the pocket, he took the hit. You know, Gary, you mentioned that came into Carolina as 171 pounds. Mac Brown was afraid for him. Was afraid he was going to get hurt. I mean, he looks like his mother fed him airline food his whole life.
I can identify with that. 1st down now from the 45. From the spread now. It's Stanisic scrambling around. And he's going to get too close to the 40-yard line. Buckner again over there to make the stop. Buckner, number 92, making his first start And this guy's got quite a future ahead of him. 6'1", 235 out of Denison, Texas. They have 9 true freshmen playing on this Alabama team.
And 2 of them starting tonight. Buckner and Cedric Samuel, one of the corners who had a nice play earlier in the game.
So a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40. They're going to have a reverse. Bucky Brooks. Brooks trying to get wide, and Michael Rogers cuts him down. What a play by Rogers. This guy didn't play last year in the Sugar Bowl. He had a terrible auto accident in December, had a head injury, but he's playing a year later and playing well.
You know, ordinarily against a team that blitzes and penetrates like Alabama does, the reverse is a good play. But when you have a linebacker like Michael Rogers who stays home, it doesn't. I mean, that was a 2nd and 5 play. Now they're 3rd and 17. I mean, that is a huge play for the Alabama defense.
So the reverse does not work. And now the line of scrimmage back to the North Carolina end of the field at the 49. 3rd down, 17. And we're going to have a stoppage of the clock. Evidently wants to change something on the scoreboard clock right now.
Carolina had a real nice drive going there until Michael Rogers. I mean, they're 2nd and 5, and they take a big loss. So Mack Brown. Well, Mack Brown looks like he watches a lot of PBS and knows which fork to use when the salad comes, you know?
What are you trying to say?
I mean, he looks like a smart guy.
Very sophisticated.
Yeah, bright guy.
Okay.
I noticed you using the wrong fork again last night, Gary.
Just be thankful I'm not using my hands, right? So we're still having some problems here with the clock. And with 4:11 now, evidently they still don't have it where they want it. I think it may be the play clock, the 25-second clock. Now they're taking some time off, or they started to. There they went down to 23 and then bumped it back up to 25. So when we come back, it's going to be 3rd down and 17 for North Carolina, as they have to wait now after that brilliant defensive play by Michael Rogers.
You know, Carolina this year has been a good screen team. I mean, it's a good situation for a screen. However, Alabama's defense, I mean, they react so quickly to the pass. You may gain, 6, 7, 8 yards, but it's tough to pick up 17 yards.
So Mack Brown said, I wanted to play Alabama, the national power they've been, the tradition. If we could win tonight, he felt he could take this Carolina team to a new level. They're back to national prominence after Craig was mentioning with John Swofford, 1-10 years. He battled his way out of it, and now they are going to be a handful at Chapel Hill. Back to throw is Stanisic, and he gets rid of it at the last minute. He tried to complete the ball to his tight end, Freddie Jones. Elverick Brown was draped all over him.
Hey, Elverick Brown is another Alabama defender who's had a very nice half. Started off very strong. There he is, number 76.
This was a completion, but short of the 1st down.
Yeah, but Elverick Brown, again, trying to fill in for Eric Curry and John Copeland. I mean, he just kind of fought through some guys in a nice little stunt. Stanisic, made a nice play again. Nice decision.
Yeah, he did. He picked up some yardage. It's 4th down now, as Palmer goes back to receive the punt from Mike Thomas. Palmer going to call for the Faircats and makes it at the 20-yard line. The Tide will have it. They also have the lead, 10-7. 26-yard punt that time by Thomas. 3 minutes, 25 seconds to go until halftime.
You know, Paul, I've been doing a lot of thinking about my college career. You know, what college I want to go to and all that. And I decided I want to go to a state college, the University of North Carolina.
The University of North Carolina?
Yeah. It's a great school, and it's not too far away.
Well, sure, it's a great school, but you have to have mighty fine grades to get in there. I mean, above average.
The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, first in the nation in public higher education.
I thought going away to college meant I didn't have to answer to anybody anymore. I could stay out all night, tailgate before a game, go to a bar after. One Saturday, we even took our victory celebration on the road. I drove straight into a drunk driving conviction. Which means that when I get to this question about ever being convicted of a crime, I have to answer yes.
Tomorrow night at the Orange Bowl in Miami, it's the big one. Number 1 Nebraska against number 2 Florida State. At halftime, we'll hear from both Tom Osborne and Bobby Bowden, who are looking for their first national championship. It seems like each year, the two coaches receive new laurels and milestones, but their trophy case conspicuous by the absence of a national championship trophy. Well, they prepare for tomorrow's showdown with contrasting personalities.
I'm not I guess a guy that goes around slapping people on the back, but I think that if you get me aside at a party someplace, I'll talk to you like anybody else, and so I feel like I'm fairly approachable. I think the players feel that way, and most people that know me.
This is the way I am. I know my language is not good all the time. My diction is not good. My English grammar is awful, but that's the way I feel, and that's the way I'm going to talk, and that's the way I'm going to act. I think what you see is what you're going to get. I hope I'm not fooling people.
How about he's always using that subjunctive mood when it should be the nominative case. Have you noticed that?
I was concurring all the way with that. Exactly what you took the words out of my mouth. Here's the pitch now to Chris Anderson, and Anderson gets a yard, maybe to the 20-yard line. But more of that, Bobby Bowden along with Tom Osborne as the Cornhuskers and the Seminoles tomorrow from the Orange Bowl. Very interesting interview. We previewed it before we came up to the booth, and just kind of a little insight on those two guys who've been very successful.
Well, Alabama now with 3 minutes left in the half. They still have one timeout, and remember they have a very good kicker in Proctor who has a career long of 53 yards. They need to get down the 35-yard line or so. And again, anytime you have a guy like David Palmer, I mean, you can throw him a little screen pass and still pick up 40 or 50 yards.
John Cossey, by the way, now playing center. Shields is not in there. Here comes the reverse. It's fumbled, and falling on it very alertly was Kevin Lee. So both teams have not run the reverse very effectively.
You know, it looked like Lee was expecting a handoff, and Bergdorf pitched it to him. Now, I'm not sure whether it was supposed to be a pitch all the way, but Lee came around looking like he was going to accept a handoff. Now, they had this thing set up pretty good. There was a pretty good on the backside. You see, he's getting ready to take a handoff, and the ball's pitched, and that's why there was a fumble.
Kind of an in-betweener, huh?
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 20 now as they lose yardage back to 11, and that's not what Gene Stallings had in mind.
It looks like his insurance just ran out.
When you're 58 years old, you don't need those kind of things, right? Back to throw now is Bergdorf, and he has dumped. The ball comes out. It's incomplete. A rule that was tipped as Ray Jacobs, number 41, he's made a couple of big plays in this first half, was in the face of Bergdorf. So it brings up a 4th down.
And Ray Jacobs has made both of his big plays this first half on 3rd downs. Remember, he was the one that forced the field goal attempt earlier by Alabama, number 41. And this time he's getting up in the field and in the face, just kind of sandwiches Bergdorf.
That arm was coming down, incomplete. Deal will punt from the end zone. Stephen Jerry goes back for North Carolina. Oh, he almost missed the ball. And Jerry now having trouble getting it. Picks it up at the 48-yard line. Jerry gets back to the midfield stripe. It looked like Deal almost lost it, and now Deal, no, we have another guy. John Posey was in a little bit of a scrape with one of the North Carolina guys, but what a remarkable play that was. Almost didn't get the punt away.
You know, Bracey Walker has blocked a lot of kicks and punts. He's number 27 right there in the middle of your screen. Now watch, he's going to get it. Now 49, Jeff Froschie is going to pick him up. I mean, they're going to take care of him. And then they're going to go after it for quite a bit after this. Special teams are long plays.
Yes, they are. From the 50-yard line now, a minute 42 left in the half. That's a wide receiver screen complete to Corey Holiday, and he's got a first down, 13-yard gain. North Carolina has 2 timeouts remaining as Darrell Blackburn made the stop for Alabama.
Yeah, nice little double screen. You know, they look one way, they fake the screen to the right, and they come back and dump it off to Corey Holiday, a wide receiver, and they get excellent blocking downfield.
Clock running now. You see the time remaining in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 38 of Alabama. Stanisic, double pumps. There's a quarter, I should say, the wide receiver screen again, and Holiday converts this one into almost another first down. He's very close to it, maybe a yard short, and now North Carolina's going to use a timeout. They will have one remaining with 1:15 to go in this first half. So that gives us an opportunity to thank our people from Blockbuster Video. Their blimp high above, providing TBS with these beautiful aerial views right here of the Gator Bowl for tonight's telecast. The Blockbuster Video blimp. Beautiful night. Last year at this time, we weren't seeing the field. Just kind of nice to see the field, isn't it? Fog rolled in here last year, and in fact, North Carolina was talking about 1981. They came in here and they had a fog-type condition.
Oh.
Now, what did I say? No fog?
Too early. I kind of enjoyed the view of you last year, Gary.
Nah, not anywhere close to what it was last year. So it's going to be a little bit short of the first down. Second down coming up. 1:15 to go in this first half. And one timeout remaining for the Tar Heels.
Now, Stanisic is a smart quarterback, and I know he's thinking he can't afford a sack now. I mean, you're in field goal range. Even if you don't gain any more yards, you're going to get a shot at a field goal attempt. And so when you're dropping back to pass, he's gotten rid of it well tonight, avoiding sacks. That's what has got to be going in his mind. Don't turn it over. The guy's open, deliver it. But don't throw the interception. Don't take the sack.
Vignetti's longest field goal this year is 41 yards. His career long, 47. Second down, less than a yard. And off, going for the first down, and thundering ahead is Curtis Johnson, and he's got it all the way inside the 15-yard line. A burst. And it's a 15-yard run. The clock now with 1:09 stopped while they move the chains.
Yeah, good block on the left side by Hawker and Curtis Parker, the left tackle. And then Curtis Johnson, who has that incredible 100-meter speed. I mean, he did not waste any time at all. Hit the hole.
First down at the 14-yard line. Again, Carolina has one timeout remaining. A delayed handoff to Johnson again. He's inside the 10. He'll be shoved back as he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, almost 6. Tyrell Buckner and Chris Donnelly made the stop for Alabama.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of time here. And if Stanisic could write a perfect script, he'd score a touchdown with about 3 seconds remaining on the clock.
Right now, they second down and 5 inside the 10. Stanisic looking to the end zone and then threw it short, incomplete. The intended receiver was Curtis Johnson coming over the middle. That'll stop the clock. 28 seconds left in the half. Third down and 5 yards to go.
Carolina down by 3 points, but it was the pressure here. The early pressure. Again, it's Nunley, number 73, refusing to be blocked. Ozell Powell. Jeremy Nunley, he was the guy that the coaching staff of Carolina felt if we didn't get him blocked, we were going to be in for a very long day.
Well, Richard Stalling said his motor's always running. On third down conversions tonight, UNC is 3 for 8. Hand off, and straight ahead comes Henderson, and he's going to be short of a first and goal. They need to get inside the 5, and he's short of the 5. Clock running now with 16 seconds.
They'll let it run down to 1 second.
And they will call the timeout and settle for the field goal. And they stop it with 5, and so Vignetti will come in with 5 seconds left and a chance to tie this game up.
Kind of a funny call there, though, by Mac Brown. I mean, on a third and what was it, 5 or 6, to give the ball inside to Henderson. They've had some success running the option outside with Stanisic and Johnson, but he chooses to run inside and sets up a field goal. But I thought maybe he had a chance for perhaps a touchdown as he runs to the corner.
Vignetti was 12 of 15 this year, as he'll attempt a 23-yarder to tie it up. The snapper is Ethan Albright, who's their starting right offensive tackle, who's an all-ACC pick.
Congratulations, Tar Heels at time. CSX Transportation.
It's been a good first half.
It has been a very interesting first half. You know, it's interesting there's no more scoring there is because we've had some big plays.
Yeah. Well, we've had some big defensive plays. We've had some good special teams. We've had some very good individual efforts by players. You know, and then some good offense, particularly in the second quarter. So we've had a little bit of everything in the first half.
And we could be all even if Vignetti's able to hit this 23-yarder. Now, as they come out of the huddle, we have a timeout. They're going to ice him. Alabama using their final timeout.
I tell you, the worst job, I think, in football is being the holder.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everybody expects you to put it down and have no problem with it.
And there he is, Jay Boaz, who's also the backup punter, as he will be holding. And the snapper, as we mentioned again, is Albright.
And I think when they go to ice kickers, I think they're icing holders just as much.
And the snappers, huh?
Yeah.
There's hardly anybody that doesn't feel it. Boy, Mac Brown in this game, I wonder when he started Chapel Hill if he was going to ever get to a postseason game. Look at that. 1 win in the first 2 years, 6, 7, 9, and tonight with a chance to win 11. It'll be the first time since 1980 that's been accomplished at North Carolina.
Yeah, this could be a great year for him. He wins tonight, perhaps a top 10 finish. Great bookends to his year, beating Southern Cal to open it, Alabama to close it. You know, the 11-win season. I mean, really moving the program in the right direction.
Yeah, no question. He is 34, 33, and 1 after those miserable starts of 1 and 10. Here we go. For the tie at the end of the first half. Vignetti's kick is up, and we're deadlocked at 10. Well, Greg Sager, we're very interested in your halftime. Let's talk about it, as it'll be Florida State and Nebraska tomorrow.
Well, you know, I think I'm really looking forward to watching that game. And both those coaches have been on the doorstep for so long. Bobby Bowden, he was telling Craig Sager that, you know, more than anything else, just the relief of having the monkey off his back.
Yep. I tell you, though, in talking to Mac Brown, he could not say enough good things about Florida State. They got beat by Florida State 33-7, but there were 17 points scored in 8 minutes against them in that ball game. It got away from them. One of the 2 losses that Carolina suffered this year.
Yeah. Well, there's the guy who won a national championship a year ago. Alabama's 12th national championship, more than any other school in college football.
When we end this first half, Jay Barker, who I'm sure would like to be out there playing, but out with a knee injury, will be visiting with Craig Sager. There he is. Gene Stallings told us he'd never had a quarterback improve more than this guy did this year. 22 straight wins. He took Bama to, and a national championship a year ago. Vignetти, who tied it up with his little sky kick again. Kevin Lee is going to run it up as the time will run out in this first half. Out to the 33. So it's all tied at 10 at the halfway point here at the 49th annual Gator Bowl. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Jay, last year you came on the field, led your team to a national championship in the bowl game, vastly improved this year, but now the knee injury. First of all, how's your rehabilitation coming?
Rehabilitation's coming real well. You know, just way ahead of schedule right now. I just want to continue to work hard and get it better. I want to be back out here playing again.
What can we expect from the Crimson Tide in the second half now that the score is tied?
I just think we got to continue to mix it up offensively, you know, the run pass, and golly, everybody's going out. But I think, you know, the offensive line at first had some trouble. They were slanting on us, made some adjustments, started running the ball well. I think Brian did a great job on that, on the quarterback draw, getting the ball in the end zone. And we just got to just win the offensive line. Defensively, we're playing really a good game right now. We just got to continue to attack them.
Who called the quarterback draw, you or Coach Stallings?
Coach Stallings called it, definitely. He saw it open, and Brian just made a great run. Got some good blocks downfield and was able to get in for the score.
Good luck. Hope to have you back soon. Gary?
Okay, Craig, thank you. And again, stay with us at halftime. Bobby Bowden, Tom Osborne. A look at those 2 head coaches. They get ready for the Orange Bowl. Also, the bands. 10-10 at halftime.
United Airlines. In 12 cities, in 11 Latin American countries. They're playing our song. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Everybody hates to eat and run, rather take it slow. But the way this life is going, gotta grab your food and go. And when all that running round catches up with you at last, get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster or more effective than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Monroe introduces road sensing technology. A new breed of Monroe shocks and struts that give you added control. New road sensing shocks and struts, only by Monroe. Designed to adjust automatically to give you added control without sacrificing comfort. Now, comfort and control are automatic. New road sensing technology, only by Monroe.
New Year's Day on TBS. A woman haunted by her past hides behind a new identity.
The world's gonna come to you, you know, and offer you everything you ever dreamed of.
But her life behind the camera isn't all glitter and glamour.
You're not just rotten, you're evil.
Now, her sordid past threatens to destroy her future.
What do you want? I wanted to kill you.
Lindsay Wagner and James Brolin, voice of the heart. 8:05 Eastern, New Year's Day on TBS.
It's halftime at the Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, with North Carolina and Alabama all tied at 10 apiece. Perhaps the most underrated team in the country is Virginia Tech. They lost 3 games this year, all to highly ranked teams, and all on the road. But they found a home today in the Independence Bowl in Shreveport. It was Virginia Tech all over Indiana. The final score 45-20. The Hokies with 2 touchdowns in the final seconds of the half, one by the defense and one by the specialty teams. At the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Kentucky from the SEC with a 10-7 lead over Clemson from the ACC. That game in the 4th, and later on tonight, it's California and Iowa. Our halftime report will continue in a few moments. We'll hear more from Tom Osborne and Bobby Bowden. But now, let's continue our halftime here in the field at the Gator Bowl as we listen to the Marching Tar Heels from North Carolina. The Marching Tar Heels of North Carolina, the only college band to perform this year at the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Their Tar Heels are tied with Alabama at half. The score 10-all.
Everybody thinks programming a VCR is so incredibly complicated.
Record Channel 3 Sunday, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. What's the problem?
Magnavox, the only VCR with Smart Talk remote. Smart, very smart.
Before you tee up, read up on over 500 of the nation's finest public and resort golf courses in The American Golfer's Guide. This unique book has it all, from course layouts to green fees. A must for every golfer, The American Golfer's Guide is available for the special price of only $15.97 when you call the 800 number below and place your order using your Visa card. That's 20% off the cover price. So go for the green with The American Golfer's Guide and save some green with Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
Golf. Football. Golf. Now, football.
Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents Full Contact Golf.
Yeah!
We're still on the first hole, Bob, and this is Davis teeing it up. Here's the drive. It is blocked. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. Oh, he's got daylight going for the green. Here's the putt. There's the blitz. It's good. Yeah! Tough hole. Good beer. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it out there.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts. And all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
It's halftime at the Outback Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Gene Stallings' Crimson Tide 10 and Max Brown's Tar Heels 10. If there was ever a coach that seemed destined to win a national title, the Orange Bowl has two of them, and Tom Osborne and Bobby Bowden. Now, Tom Osborne is the only coach in history 21 consecutive seasons of 9 wins or more. Meanwhile, Bobby Bowden is the only coach in history to win at least 10 games for 7 straight years. Both with loaded trophy cases, conspicuous by the absence of a national title. Tomorrow night at the Orange Bowl in Miami, they clash that elusive distinction.
Well, we'd certainly like to win a national championship. I think our fans have been very anxious that this be accomplished. You know, for the last 20-some years, we have not won one.
I really think if we were to win it, it would be more of a relief for myself than anything else. I think my team could cherish it, my fans could cherish it, Florida State could cherish it, and I would cherish it. But I think it'd be a relief as much as anything else.
The pursuit is a lot more important than the end result. You know, the thing that you remember is the road that you traveled, the things that happened during the season, the relationships that were formed, more so than the trophy or the final score. And so we've had a great year, and we've had a great experience with these players. Naturally, winning the bowl game would just make it that much better. But again, it isn't a deal where you're like Captain Ahab and you can't live until this thing is done.
Well, you know, it's never been an obsession. My excitement in coaching comes from winning. You know, I really believe I had rather beat Nebraska and not win a national championship than lose to them and have it handed to me. I'd rather win. I'd rather win the games. That's where I really get my satisfaction.
I don't think that just getting all wild-eyed and emotional necessarily does it for you. I think you still have to know which foot to step with and which audible to call and which coverage to play. And so we're just hoping that we're really relaxed and well-prepared and motivated and go out and just play the very best football we can play and see what happens.
Man, there's too much to life, and there's too many other fulfillments to make me want to cut my wrist if we don't win a national championship.
What about the point spread? Past years, you never talk about it, but now with the coalition and the rankings and all, it becomes a factor.
That is a problem right there, you know? And you say, well, how do you respond to it? Well, you just hope they know what they're talking about, that's all.
Well, I don't feel very good if the gamblers know what they're talking about. If they don't know what they're talking about, I feel real good. So, but I guess that's why you play the game. You know, we've been sometimes heavy favorites in games, and I've never felt very comfortable because I knew that a couple fumbles here or there could cure that in a hurry. or even an injury or two.
Nebraska's #1, we're #2, and yet we're favored by 2 touchdowns. You know, that's hard. I mean, to me, it makes it easier for Nebraska. Their kids can respond to that. Their coach can motivate through that. You know, they can be infuriated because of that. I'd have my kids infuriated if we were 14-point underdogs.
The one thing fans need to understand is that if you're going out and play for a national championship, the last thing you have to do is motivate a football team. I mean, you don't need to get out one of Newt Rockney's old speeches and rehearse it for a while, or throw something against the wall or break a window. You know, I mean, probably the thing you have to do, if anything, is to settle them down a little bit and to focus them on what they have to do. And so there won't be a whole lot of rah-rah stuff as far as we're concerned.
If you can believe this, we will definitely look at tapes the night before the game. I do this every Friday night before a Saturday ball game. We will have a tape put together that will show Notre Dame beating us. We will also show a tape of Boston College beating Notre Dame when Notre Dame was a 17-point favorite. We will also show film of Miami against Alabama last year to remind them of what happened to Miami, who was a heavy favorite. We'll do a lot of motivating of trying to show our boys what can happen if you don't play your absolute best.
It's #1 Nebraska against #2 Florida State tomorrow night in the Orange Bowl. Meanwhile, 3rd-ranked West Virginia with an undefeated record takes on Florida in the Sugar Bowl, and Notre Dame with an outside shot at the national title against Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl. Here at the Outback Gator Bowl, the score is 10-10, and we'll have first half highlights in just a moment.
25 years the club's been taking this vacation. Maybe it should have been 24.
Welcome to Dollar. Something in a full size?
As long as there's room for my hog.
For as much room as you need. Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
All right, everybody, hands on the wheel at 10 and
Call your travel agent or 1-800-800-4000.
Where are you headed?
Super Bowl.
Get in.
Hey, it's a nice jacket.
Thanks. Nice shoes.
AVAX, official footwear and apparel.
Hey, what's in that?
New popcorn shrimp at Long John Silver's. By the pound or by the meal, you get a lot for a little. But this offer won't last long, so pop in soon. Long John Silver, the shrimp.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue. Doctor recommended #1.
New Year's Day on TBS. A woman haunted by her past hides behind a new identity.
The world's gonna come to you, you know, and offer you everything you ever dreamed of.
But her life behind the camera isn't all glitter and glamour.
You're not just rotten, you're evil.
Now, her sordid past threatens to destroy her future.
What do you want?
I wanted to kill you.
Lindsay Wagner and James Brolin, voice of the heart. 8:05 Eastern, New Year's Day on TBS.
Back in Jacksonville, halftime at the Gator Bowl. We're even at 10. The Tar Heels and the Crimson Tide. I'm Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. And Pat, for a 10-10 ball game, this has been a very entertaining ball game. There's been plays, both very big on offense and defense.
Yeah, and we see some great special teams play as well. I think it really has been a well-played game. Both quarterbacks have played well, and there's been some terrific linebacker play, I think, on both defenses. And the statistics, when you look at them, they really are pretty much the same. There really has been a well-played game. You see no turnovers there. Time of possession is relatively easy. Passing yards, UNC is 166, which is a lot against a good Alabama secondary, I think, Gary.
Well, we're going to go back, and the score could have been different, as there's about 3:40 to go in the first quarter on a 4th and 13, a near miss.
Yeah, Marcus Wall had a chance to catch this ball. Gas to number 22 kind of distracts him. The ball's thrown a little bit late, but that could have given Carolina a 7-0 lead.
Well, Carolina did get things going, though. They opened it up with the passes over the middle, and then that set up the option by Jason Stanisic.
Yeah, and watch the late pitch. This is what makes him unique. I mean, he's getting tackled. It was a two-hand pitch down there to Leon Johnson, a gain of 18 yards.
And they eventually go in and take a 7-3 lead, but then Alabama came back, and on a quarterback draw, Bergdorf goes 33 yards.
Yeah, good blocking up front. I think Shields was in at that play at the center and picked up a nice block by one of his wide receivers. And he showed me a lot of speed there. I mean, they ran that with David Palmer before, now with Bergdorf.
Well, you talk about intensity. Watch the special teams play after this punt.
Yeah, you know, this is Froese, John Froese, number 49 for Alabama. Bracy Walker, number 27 for Carolina. I mean, Walker is a guy that's blocked a lot of punts and kicks, and he has gotten Alabama and John Froese's attention.
Let's take a look at the quarterbacks as far as comparisons are concerned. Both quarterbacks having some very good moments. Bergdorf with that 33-yard run, and I thought Stanisic really started to come on, especially after he started to run the ball on the option. There's what they've done thus far.
Yeah, the 166 yards was a big first half by Stanisic. Bergdorf, a very confident young man now, came into the game trying to prove something to Gene Stallings. I think he did in the first half.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was obviously a confidence factor starting to creep in. So it's 10-all at the halfway point. We're going to be back with the start of the second half from the 49th annual Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl.
Every year, golf enthusiasts the world over visit Amelia Island, Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra Beach, and historic St. Augustine on Florida's First Coast for first-class golf that's par none. Call toll-free 1-800-877-PUTT for a free brochure featuring over 25 golf courses and hotels, and qualify to win round-trip airfare to the First Coast, compliments of Delta Airlines.
Because it's a clear, clean, powerful gel. It goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. All-day protection against both wetness and odor. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. One of the advanced deodorants and antiperspirants in the Gillette series.
Excuse me, you're kind of in charge of stocking stuff around here?
Yes, sir.
I noticed you stock a lot of stuff on the bottom shelves, like you stock Duracell batteries in the top shelf, and you stock the other batteries in the bottom shelf. Is there a reason for that?
Well, Duracell is a better seller brand.
Are you using Duracell batteries in the gizmo there?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Can you show us?
I can't open it because I'll lose the program.
You lose the whole program?
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll take your word for it as a grocer.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Maybe the butcher knows why.
Well, we're back where we started. The two teams tied. The score now 10-10. Mac Brown, what'd you tell your troops at halftime?
Craig, the thing we told them is we're playing good defense, but we've let Bergdorf get a little confidence in that first half. Got to get him off his rhythm, force some turnovers, and we've been close to 2 or 3 big plays offensively. We have to execute to be a top 10 football team in the second half.
Came close to a couple of big plays. We talked about the touchdown attempt in the end zone, that long pass.
Came close, but to win, you got to make those big plays, and we've got to execute better the second half.
How do you get Bergdorf off his rhythm?
Well, we've got to put more pressure on him. We can't let him scramble because we've done a pretty good job containing their running game. Got to win the kicking game. Every time Palmer touches it, it scares you to death because everybody stands up to watch him to see what he's going to do. But we've got to force some turnovers.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you, Craig.
Back to you, Gary.
Okay, Craig, and of course, as Mac just said, a win would vault him into the top 10 ranking-wise. He talked about Palmer, and really, as you think about this first half, he's been fairly quiet as you take a look high above the Gator Bowl, Jacksonville, Florida. They'll be starting a renovation project here. Several $1 million being spent to refurbish this place as they get ready for their entry into the NFL. But in that first half, 3 catches by Palmer for 49 yards, 1 rush for 13, and interestingly enough, did not get a chance to return a punt.
There were some poor punts, if you recall. Didn't give him really a chance to do that, but again, with just one touch, one play, David Palmer can change the scoreboard. Gene Stallings, I think, has to be happy, certainly with the play of Brian Bergdorf. His defense played well at times. Second quarter didn't play as well as they did the first. But Brian Bergdorf has really, I thought, played very well. Run the team well, threw the ball with some real zip on it, and then, of course, had a couple of big runs.
Well, they really went to his strengths. The quarterback draw, the sprint out stuff, getting him out of the pocket, which is his real area that he likes to perform in. And we haven't seen Palmer line up underneath center yet. After watching that SEC title game against Florida, he did a lot of that.
You know, if Bergdorf keeps playing like this, he'll be the guy for 4 quarters and who knows for next year.
10-10 the score. As Stanisic, the counterpart on the other side, he made a couple of beautiful reads on option. And that one pitch to Leon Johnson was something to see.
Yeah, you know, and threw the ball well too, Gary. And you know, hung in the pocket. I mean, we talked about most option quarterbacks won't stand in there in the pocket and deliver the ball like he did. And you see what's happened to Johnson and Johnson.
You know, it's interesting because Alabama's done a very good job as far as the bowls are concerned. The previous 3 bowls, they've allowed a total of 150 yards rushing. That's 50 a game. So that's what's happening again here tonight.
Well, no one has been to more bowl games than Alabama. No one has won more bowl games than Alabama with 25.
So Palmer and Anderson will go deep for Gene Stallings' team. Beautiful night here. A little bit on the cool side, but it's clear. Benetti will kick off for North Carolina. That little sky kick again, and Anderson's going to let it hit, and it'll go out of bounds. So they have the option here. They can bring it out to the 35, and that's where they'll go. Tell you, that sky kick really shortens the field. You know what? You really got to get somebody to get that ball back in the end zone, and there's some talk that they might bring in another kicker as this game wears on. He doesn't want that sky kick, but that's the best he can get right now. So from the 35 is where this drive will start. See if Shields is in at center. He is. We'll keep watching him. See that left leg wrapped where he has the stress fracture. He was taken out from time to time in the first half. Bergdorf pitching out to Sherman Williams, and Sherman Williams has a first down and is clotheslined at the 47-yard. A big hit by Bracy Walker. You can see why they call him Novocaine, because he just knocks people numb. That's a 13-yard run by Williams.
Yeah, it was a 13-yard run by Williams because he got some good blocking up front. A good lead block by Lynch, number 45. Shields did a good job. 59, John Clay, the left guard, got his guy. But you're not going to run through the arm tackle of Bracy Walker.
The hitman, as they call him. First down now at the 48-yard line. Williams again, and Williams is going to get another first down. He's to the 40-yard line. This is a guy, the first 5 games this year, rushed for over 100 yards, then got hurt, and his highest output in a game since that injury was 49 yards. So if they could get him going, it'd be a big help to Alabama.
Gary, a good center, right in 61 in the middle of your screen. A good center gets to slip off one guy and then go get a linebacker. You know, you kind of shield block the nose tackle a little bit, then you go down and get your second blocker, the linebacker, and that's just what Toby Shields did. That's why it was a nice run.
And that's the reason he's a consensus all-SEC pick. First down is the 40. This is Lynch, the fullback. And Lynch will get a couple inside the 40. Bernardo Harris, number 24. He was a second-team all-ACC pick. In fact, he was the preseason all-defensive player of the year. He kind of had a year that started fast, and he did not have a couple of games in the middle of the season to his liking, but came on at the end of the year. Second down and 7 now for Alabama. Bergdorf with the deep handoff to Williams. Williams cuts it back to the 30. Lost his footing. And that's that slick field that Craig Sager was talking about. But Williams a good cutback that time. And it appears as though if he doesn't have a first down, he's awfully close to it. Yeah, they're going to measure to see. They're going to have to bring the sticks in.
You know, Toby Shields really is a key part of the Bama running game. When he's in the ball game and blocking like this, he's the center, number 61. He's blocking on Barnett, the nose tackle. I mean, you have a chance for your running game to really go. And Alabama has come out here in the second half, and they, right now, in this opening series, Gary, they have changed the tempo. This is not a finesse team in the second half. This is a power-running Alabama team, and they pick up another first down.
Well, that's what Mac Brown expected from the very beginning, at the get-go of this game. Instead, Gene Stallings said, I was going to use a game of deception. Maybe he's changed now as they come into the second half.
Yeah, the adjustments at halftime. To win as many games as Gene Stallings has and to win a national championship, you better be a good adjustment coach. This second half, it's been all power by Alabama.
Well, Williams did pick up another first down by measurement, just short of the 30. Here he goes again, and he cuts back this time to the near side and is able to get to the 26-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and Williams right now getting a lot of efforts with the ball. It's amazing how this guy's performance dropped off after he got hurt, but now he has 10 carries for 52 yards.
And some of the runs have been all Sherman Williams. Other the runs, the offensive line of Alabama have done a nice job, but what he has really done a good job, I think, of is making people miss in a small area. It's one thing to make guys miss out in the open field, but he's doing in the hole, in the line of scrimmage.
Second down, they get 6 yards to go. Flipped again to Williams. Williams trying to go wide, and he gets inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Kerry Mock, 57, over there to make the stop.
Now, even David Palmer, number 2, he's at the top of the screen. Talk about all the things that he can do. Every once in a while, he'll give you a little block, a little shield there to give your running back a chance. So he'll block, he'll catch, he'll return kicks, he'll help you win ball games.
Third down and a yard to go as Lynch and Hape come into the ball game. This has been all Sherman Williams, using Palmer more as the decoy.
Yeah, and Toby Shields and John Clay and Dennis Deason and the rest of that offensive line.
Third and a yard. And Bergdorf gets it. They sneak off the right side across the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Gene Stallings could not have wanted anything better to happen to start this second half. They're moving the football now. 11:57 left in this third quarter, and they have a first down inside the 20.
Gary, I just love what Alabama did. They ran a short yardage play on a quick count. Didn't let the Carolina defense get set, get dug in. They got lined up, and they snapped the ball quickly. A quarterback sneak and picked up the first easily. 3
wideouts now on a first down at the 19. It's Williams again. Williams got the corner. He's to the 15, to the 10. And he is cutting them about 10 yards a clip right now. John Crocker made the stop for North Carolina, but Sherman Williams is really having a tremendous series. It appears as though he is just short of the first down. It's going to bring up second and a yard to go. Look at this drive and what he's contributed. So David Palmer has come out of the ball game now. A yard to go for a first down.
And this is the kind of half, the way offensive linemen love to open up a game or a half. Run the football. Get in the rhythm of the game.
Chris Anderson has come in, giving Sherman Williams a break. This is Anderson with the ball, and Anderson's not going to get the first down. Good reaction by Mike Morton. He's a Moorhead scholar. He has a 3.8 GPA, and playing in place of Rick Steinbacher, their co-captain, who dislocated his wrist in a practice when he got his wrist hung up in a jersey.
A lot of film work here by Mike Moore. Watch how he's going to shift over as soon as he sees the set and the motion. Good, you know, that was good preparation and a good play. You saw him move to his right because he saw something in the formation and in the motion that he knew Alabama was going to run right into that hole.
3rd and 2. This was the 10th play of the drive. Anderson cuts it, dives, fights for what he needs just inside the 10 to try to pick up that first down. Morton again on the tackle for the Tar Heels. And it is a 1st and goal now for Alabama. What a drive, almost 5 minutes long now.
Yeah, look at the blocking here on the right side, and watch the lead block he gets from his fullback that really kind of set it up. And then he gets the rest, he actually gets the first down on second effort. Picked up a nice lead block by his fullback and then his tight end.
This is power football. This entire series has been on the ground. 1st and goal inside the 10. Williams, a couple of yards to the 8. 2nd and goal there.
Yeah, Gary, I think that one of the interesting things of this game is how both head coaches have changed the the pace and the complexion of this game a couple of times. I mean, early on it was a defensive game, and then it was kind of a wide open passing game, and then we saw some options, then we saw some big pass plays, and now in the second half it's been all power plays by Alabama.
And now with 9:25 showing on the clock, they continue to move it. Substitutions coming into the ball game. Lynch is coming in. Also, Roderick Malone has checked in, a true freshman out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. And we're going to have a timeout. A little confusion, a late substitution, and Bergdorf has to call timeout. 9:11 to go on this initial series of the third quarter. We're tied at 10.
The 1993 Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl is brought to you by A1 Steak Sauce. It's how steak is done.
I love steak, especially a thick, juicy T-bone. A1 all over the top. Perfect. Wonderful.
I'm in the mood for something spicy. Tongue-tingling spicy. Spices just...
They get you here, and they get you right here.
I want something with gumption.
Something with a peppery kick that's spicy. A1 Bold. Yeah, that's what I'm in the mood for.
Original A1 and A1 Bold. They're how steak is done.
Not one of these guys has a single gray hair. Is it by chance or is it by choice? New Clairol Men's Choice. It's a technological breakthrough. A new way to blend away the gray that's so natural looking, no one can tell you did it. New Clairol Men's Choice is an easy-to-use gel, not a messy liquid, and it works in just 5 minutes without changing your natural hair color. No gray hair, and it looks so natural. Is it by chance or is it by choice? New Clairol Men's Choice.
Tied at 10, and I'm really an Auburn fan, but I have nowhere else to go. And, of course, Terry Bowden, his team undefeated, but not able, because of NCAA sanctions, to play in a postseason game.
With the best record in the Bowden family, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But his dad may get the plum before it's all over, if he can defeat Nebraska tomorrow.
Real big play here for the Carolina defense. Haven't had any penetration in this series at all. The offensive line have controlled it on this drive.
Second and goal from the 8. Drive almost 6 minutes old. Bergdorf on the play action. End zone. Touchdown, Terrence Lynch.
Nice call by Alabama and just wonderful execution. I mean, a good play action fake by Bergdorf, and then he really drilled the ball to Lynch.
Terrence Lynch, who had 19 catches for 2 touchdowns, grabs this one, an 8-yarder, point after attempt by Michael Proctor. And Alabama has the lead again, 17-10. That drive took 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
Gary, when you run the ball all drive, as Alabama did, it sets up that. A wonderful fake there by Bergdorf. You see no one in his face, and then he drills it to an open Terrence Lynch. Now, Lynch, number 45, right there in the wing. He is a fullback. He is the guy that's been throwing lead blocks. He's 224 pounds. He can be a physical guy, and then he comes right back and makes a finesse catch in the end zone. That's good playing by Alabama.
11 rushes and 1 pass, but the pass goes for 6.
New Year's Day on TBS. A woman haunted by her past hides behind a new identity.
The world's going to come to you, you know, and offer you everything you ever dreamed of.
But her life behind the camera isn't all glitter and glamour.
You're not just rotten, you're evil.
Now, her sordid past threatens to destroy her future.
What do you want?
I wanted to kill you.
Lindsay Wagner and James Brolin, voice of the heart. 8:05 Eastern, New Year's Day on TBS.
Come on, let's decide. I want the beach.
Mommy, I just want to have fun.
Well, how about some golf?
I think I've got it. Look at this. Jacksonville, Florida. It's got everything.
Jacksonville, Florida, your everything vacation destination. Call today, 1-800-733-2668.
Before you tee up, read up on over 500 of the nation's finest public and resort golf courses in The American Golfer's Guide. This unique book has it all, from course layouts to green fees. A must for every golfer, The American Golfer's Guide is available for the special price of only $15.97 when you call the 800 number below and place your order using your Visa card. That's 20% off the cover price. So go for the green with The American Golfer's Guide and save some green with Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
Alabama's 65-yard drive took 5 minutes, 55 seconds, 12 plays, 11 on the ground. It was smash-mouth football, and they had the lead. And the thing you wonder about, Pat Hayden, you wait so long to get the football. You've been in the dressing room for 20 minutes. You come out here, and you almost have to stand around for half of this first quarter on that initial series.
You're right, Gary, because, you know, Carolina has their own adjustments they made at halftime, and, you know, they think they're going to get a chance to use those when the ball game's tied. Now they're down by 7, and, you know, put your offense right back in the pressure situation again.
On that drive, Sherman Williams carried the ball 7 times for 51 yards. That's what Mack Brown thought Alabama was going to do. Well, they waited until the third quarter to do it. William Watts will kick off. Marcus Wall back deep for North Carolina. Wall will bring it out. Out to the 20 and tries to wedge further and is hauled in at the 21-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown pass to Lynch.
Yeah, well, what you're going to see here is the play-action fake here, and Bergdorf rolling out. First, you can see great protection, and then here is Lynch right here. He gets released by this linebacker and comes in the back of the end zone, wide open for the touchdown. But set up by all the runs to Sherman Williams, and that's why there really wasn't any rush on Bergdorf. He had plenty of time to get turned and then fire the ball. Good play selection.
And Stanisic answer now as North Carolina starts from the 21. Play action, Nunley giving chase, throws up the field. The catch is made by Corey Holiday, and Holiday, let's see where we're going to mark it. He may have a first down. They do at the 34, a 13-yard gain, and so Stanisic comes out, and his first strike into the arms of the co-captain.
Well, they opened the game with the passing game, Carolina did, unsuccessfully, but they opened the second half with a pass to their hot receiver, Corey Holiday, who had a big first half. Now he has 7 catches, and he's been very good after the catch. Brought down there, but generally he's been very good after the catch.
Curtis Johnson, Malcolm Marshall in the backfield for Carolina. Stanisic, pressure coming. Oh, did Gregory unload on him? James Gregory, all 280 pounds of him. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon that time as he came up the field, and Stanisic thrown for a loss of 8 yards.
These Alabama defenders, Gary, do not stay blocked. I mean, you think you have him for a while. He actually got double teamed there for a while, Gregory 98. Just fought off the double team and then kind of accelerated once he saw he had a chance of sacking the quarterback.
What did Mack Brown say? We're going to have trouble with number 98. Yeah. They were very concerned about Gregory, the senior out of St. Louis. Moved it up front. Stanisic dumps it off to Curtis Johnson. Johnson fighting his way across the 30 to 31. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage. A lot of movement by Alabama defensively on the play. Preliminary signal is going to be offside against the Tide.
Well, they do move around a lot, Gary, this Tide defense, but it also makes them awfully difficult to block because they don't stay in the same place very long.
Well, today earlier, Virginia Tech defeating Indiana 45-20. The Hokies now 9-3. Bill Mallory's Indiana team 8-4. The Independence Bowl.
I like the way you say that. Oof, that's good.
And Clemson over Kentucky. Bill Curry, who was the coach at Alabama before Gene Stallings.
By the defense, we'll repeat the second down.
You like what?
I just like the way you say that. The way they deliver the scores. Very. You've done this before, I can tell.
A couple of times. Alabama.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
17-10. Alabama with the lead. 7:46 to go in the third. North Carolina trying to answer this initial drive of the second half. Quarterback draw by Stanisic. Stanisic is going to get to the 38-yard line. He'll be considerably short of the first down as Darrell Blackburn, a redshirt freshman out of Huntsville, Alabama, over to make the stop.
You know, Sean Hawker, the left guard for Carolina, said about Stanisic that, you know, this guy not only doesn't just play quarterback, he creates an atmosphere, an environment for our team. I mean, he is just a tough guy that's been able to respond all evening. I mean, he's thrown the ball. He's made the great decisions. He's been tough. He's hung in the pocket. He's trailing by 7 points now, though.
Started the year as the MVP in the Pigskin Classic when they defeated Southern California. Third down now and 6. Almost falling down. Gets the ball underway, and Holiday makes the catch. And that'll be a first down. Holiday, as you said, is a hot receiver right now. That's a 13-yard gain.
Well, the consistency is what you like about Corey Holiday. You know, it's easy to be a flash in the pan and be hot for a game or even a season. But Holiday's done it for 4 years. Now, Stanisic slips. Second time he's done this tonight on the rollout. And then now he's got enough arm strength off balance to be able to deliver the ball, but then a good adjustment by Corey Holiday.
Holiday having a big game. Now at the 49-yard line, first down. Alabama into the field. Curtis Johnson. Johnson maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, it's been interesting to see what the coaches chose to do after their halftime adjustments. Alabama came out and decided they were going to run power football and they were going to get Sherman Williams involved. What Mac Brown decided he was going to do, he was going to come out as he did in the first and throw the ball, get the ball in the hands of Corey Holiday, and then hopefully set up Johnson and Johnson.
Well, as he said, I don't know if we can drive it on Alabama. We're going to have to hit some big plays. And now they need a big play on a 2nd and 9. Marcus Wall in motion. Stanisic, little half roll, and Nutley got a hand on it. The guy seems to be everywhere, doesn't he? 73 out of Winchester, Tennessee. Really didn't get the publicity that a lot of the coaches felt he should have gotten, even though he was a first-team All-SEC pick.
Jeremy Nunley is a guy that plays hard every single down. He's right in here. And this is a guy that, you know, he takes 2 guys to block him. Then he spins out of the double team, has enough athleticism to get his big right paw and knock it down. That's a heck of a play by a guy who weighs 280.
3rd and 9 now for North Carolina. Almost snapped it on the ground. Stanisic over the middle. The catch is made by Leon Johnson, but he'll be 5 yards short of the first down. So 4th down coming up.
Yeah, that's the thing about this Alabama secondary. Great tackles. I mean, the thought there was, hey, even though it was 3rd and 8, you know, you dump the ball to Leon Johnson and hope that he's going to make somebody miss and run for a first down. But not when you have tacklers like Sam Shade back there who are going to stop you in your tracks. Good tackling team.
Well, he's led the secondary for Alabama in tackles the last 2 seasons as Thomas will punt. And the Deuce is back inside the 15. Tommy Johnson back there. The ball partially blocked. No flag on the play, and the ball's going to roll to the 32-yard line. Tommy Johnson, number 10, coming off the wing area. A big collision that time. It ends up being a 12-yard punt.
Well, that's the 2nd punt that Tommy Johnson has blocked this year. The one earlier was returned for a touchdown by Hall, but he's going to come right up off the wing, I believe it was. Number 10, right off the wing. I mean, he should have been blocked. That should not have happened. Just good effort by Tommy Johnson for his 2nd block of the year, setting up the tight offense.
Hey, the Miss Perfect pageant.
Yeah. We're watching hockey.
Hockey. Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents the Miss Perfect Face-Off. Okay, Bob, Miss Georgia goes to the corner. She pays the price. Here's the puck coming loose. Nice shot. She scores! Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. Oh, that'll be sashing. 2 minutes for Miss Congeniality. Bad call. Good beer. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Here in the Outback, we know what's important in life.
food.
You don't mind, do you?
No, mate.
You feel the same way. Get to Outback Steakhouse.
I got a bloomin' good recipe for onions.
The Gator Bowl Association and the City of Jacksonville wish to thank these corporate sponsors for their continuing support throughout the year. Happy New Year.
Let's go back and look at what we thought was the block punt by Tommy Johnson, number 10. He was right at the top of the screen. I'm not so sure he touches the ball with his right hand at all. And if he didn't touch the ball with his right hand, it would have been a penalty roughing the kicker, or the punter.
Looked like he actually hit his leg rather than the ball.
Yeah, I don't think he touched the ball.
Anyway, it ends up being a 12-yard punt. And Alabama now from the 33-yard line. Palmer comes in motion. Going to throw to Palmer. They got number 2 in the open field, and that could be some trouble as he's across the 40 to the 41. Pretty good recovery that time by Bernardo Harris. Also over there was Sean Boyd, and they stop him for a reasonable gain. And when I say reasonable, you hold your breath when he gets to the open field.
And that can turn out to be a very big play in the sense that, you know, the penalty not being called, Gary, on the block, because it would have been probably a 15-yard penalty and a first down. Now Alabama, again, after scoring a touchdown on their only other drive this half, on a roll, and they're getting the ball now to David Palmer.
Gain of 9 on the play, second down the yard. And Brian Steger, a true freshman now in at running back. He is number 28 for Alabama. Hand off instead to Kieran Lynch, who caught the touchdown pass, and he is going to be thrown for a loss back at the 40. Austin Robbins. And this has turned out to be a spectacular night for football as you see the moon and the Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville, Florida, the St. Johns River. And again, piloting the blockbuster video blimp for tonight's game is Terry Dillard of Lake Monroe, Florida. Thank you, Terry. Great shots. Going to see the stadium a lot in the years ahead. Third down now, and 3 yards to go. The pitch coming back. This is Steger, the freshman, and look at this run for a first down. This is a guy that has really impressed Gene Stallings. He had a game earlier this year, played very well. He had 99 yards against Southern Mississippi and had a 67-yard touchdown run.
This is a team that has a lot of freshmen on it, a lot of freshmen that have contributed, and Brian Steger is one of those guys. I mean, it doesn't take long to get started. I mean, he makes up his mind and he goes.
He's a big guy, 6'3", 210. Chris Anderson comes in for him now. 3 minutes, 18 seconds, and a first, or I should say, third quarter moving very quickly. Line of scrimmage, the 47 of Alabama. Anderson, first man misses, and the second man doesn't. Burying him is Austin Robbins, and got some pushing and shoving going on. A gain of maybe a yard on the play.
There's old number 67, Dennis Deason of Alabama. He's a guy that started his career, believe it or not, for Alabama fans, at Auburn.
Yeah.
Played there for a couple of years and was always an Alabama fan. Always wanted to play at Alabama. Finally decided that I had enough Auburn. Went to junior college for a year and came in, and now he's been a major contributor to the Tide program.
He started the last 7. John Stevenson, who was a starting guard, went down with a knee, and so he has been playing that guard spot, and he was expected to play center tonight if Shields could not play. They would have moved him over and had him snap the ball. Second down now, 10 yards to go. Palmer comes in motion. He's going to get it, and he gives on the reverse to Kevin Lee, and that did not fool number 71, and that is Marcus Jones, who is one of the fine young players in the country. This guy is going to be somebody you're going to hear a lot about in the years to come. From Jacksonville, North Carolina, he had 8.5 sacks to lead the team, and that's a 13-yard loss back to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Marcus Jones, he's the guy right down here. He just stays at home. I mean, again, on a team that's quick, you sometimes try to run the reverse, but he stayed right at home. Bergdorf didn't want to clip him. I mean, this is a guy who can run, he can jump, he can chase, and he's a heck of a player, Marcus Jones.
Boy, the reverses aren't working. Third down and 23. Bergdorf far side, complete to Chris Anderson. Nice cut to the 40, and he'll be shoved down there. So to bring up a 4th down, the ball comes out. North Carolina running with it, but it's been blown dead. Well, you got to try, don't you? Jimmy Hitchcock tried to make the officials believe that that was a recovery. Instead, the ball will be blown dead at the 40-yard line. Mac Brown would maybe argue with you about that. Going to mark the ball now at the 40. 3rd down. 17 yards to go. That big tackle by Jones has really changed the complexion of this series. A little confusion right now by Alabama, as they've already used 1 timeout in this game. The officials marking now 4th down.
Yeah, it should be 4th down.
That's what I thought it was, too. I said 4th earlier, and then they didn't change it. Now the officials have told everybody it's 4th down.
Well, if you're Alabama now, you're making sure you're going to block this guy, Bracy Walker. You know, we saw him get into it a little bit earlier with an Alabama player, but they're very cognizant of where he's coming from.
They got it underway. You can see Deal was aware of him. Coming up now is Stephen Jerry. The ball comes loose, and I think Alabama, no. They say North Carolina recovered it.
Well, I don't know if that official...
Well, I don't either. It looked to me like Alabama got it. They're marking it the wrong way, aren't they? They're pointing as though North Carolina recovered it, but Mario Morris, 58, came out of the stack with it.
Yeah,
they're going to change it. There it is. They were just pointing in the wrong direction. An Alabama guy down inside the 35-yard line. And so we're going to have officials delay right now as we have the man shaken up. Watch this again.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that Alabama recovers this right away. And they corrected the error, and they made the right call.
Just going the wrong way.
Alabama's ball.
University of Alabama.
A new set of academic standards will go into effect in 1995. To practice, play, or receive an athletic scholarship, freshmen will need a minimum grade point average in at least 13 core courses in high school and a minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Make it a point to talk to your coach or guidance counselor about these requirements. Prepare yourself now. It's never too early to hit the books.
This message provided by the NCAA.
Yeah.
17-10. Alabama recovering the fumble by Stephen Jerry, and Mac Brown discussing it.
Yeah, he wants to know his way. The official called Carolina ball, and he wants to know what happened.
Well, he has a bad vantage point from over there, as you know, from field level. We could see it very well from here. There was no question. So as an end result now, the first turnover of this game, and it sets it up at the North Carolina 37, and Mac Brown's still fuming.
Maybe he doesn't know how to, you know, which fork to use for that salad.
Can you be on PBS and argue like that? Huh?
Yeah, sure you can.
Okay. Well, in this quarter, Alabama's had the ball 10 minutes, 31 seconds to North Carolina's 4 minutes and 8 seconds. That first drive was awfully big. Pitch comes back to Sam Williams. Williams trying to get the corner, and everybody catches up with him, and he's buried at the 35. Troy Barnett playing tough out of that nose tackle spot was there, and it looks like Toby Shields, nope, Dennis Deason is down and getting up very groggy.
Whoops. Whoops. Yeah. He's now wondering why people don't get goosebumps on their face.
Something I've wondered about all the days of my life.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get back in the right huddle.
3 seconds, and now Roosevelt Patterson's also shaken up, senior out of Mobile. And this offensive line right now pretty thin anyway. And Deason being assisted in the right direction of the bench. Pete DeMario has now come into the ball game. It'll be a 2nd and 9 with 3 seconds left in the quarter. And now we come to the end of this third quarter. 17-10. So that series that started the third quarter is the difference in this ball game. A drive that took 5 minutes and 55 seconds to tied by 7.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue. Doctor recommended #1.
Every day in 34 countries and over 300 cities, Delta Airlines takes off to the world of facts and figures, budgets, and bottom lines. And when the job is done, we bring you back to the world of mommies and daddies, boyfriends, girlfriends, and best friends. Delta Airlines.
When it comes to paint, we're making a name for ourselves because we make our own and guarantee its quality. That's Ace, the name to know for paint.
From Gillette comes a revolutionary form of antiperspirant protection. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Because it's a clear, clean, powerful gel, it goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. All-day protection against both wetness and odor. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. One of the advanced deodorants and antiperspirants in the Gillette series.
There are numerous activities involved with the bowl game. Marcus Jones, who we just saw it here moments ago, made headlines earlier with me, Hugh Connerty from the Outback Steakhouses. And Marcus Jones made a big splash at your beach party.
Craig, he was the only guy to beat a 135-pound world champion arm wrestler. There were 5 guys ahead of him, all big linemen, 3 from Alabama, 2 from North Carolina. None of them could beat this guy. Those guys would turn away absolutely amazed. He's got real big wrists. He's got big wrists. Marcus walked up there. Took him about 30 seconds to put him away.
This is the 49th Gator Bowl. Next year, the big 50th. And, of course, the NFL coming here. Good news for your bowl game.
Oh, it's tremendous. The deal with the NFL is a great opportunity for us. It's a whole new tradition that should start. It'll be our 50th anniversary. It's a great tradition for us, and we're looking for the opportunity with what we think will be the greatest stadium in America to help us move up into being one of the top 3 bowls in this country. That's our goal with the whole city and our company to be involved in that.
Rachel Hunter does your commercials. Let's go find her while we throw this back up to Gary and Pat.
Nice assignment. Well, almost an interception by Jimmy Hitchcock on a 2nd and 9. Now it's 3rd and 9 for Alabama. We start the fourth quarter. That one's up for grabs. And the ball is incomplete. Very close now. Sean Boyd, 28, says he picked it off the ground, but according to the official on top of the play, it hit the ground. 2 near misses, 2 near interceptions.
I think it was Barnett again who tipped it, Gary, but trying to force the ball in there to David Palmer, give him a chance to run with it after the catch. But tipped, I think, by Barnett inside, and a chance to be picked off.
But it's a 4th down, and Dio will punt. Bucky Brooks now has replaced Stephen Jerry after he fumbled the last punt. Trying to keep it in the field of play, a little pooch punt, but he got too much of it. It's a touchback and brings it out to the 20-yard line. Pat Hayden's famous. Nothing that he can hate worse in the NFL or college games, and that is the touchback. You love it, don't you?
Hate when the punters do that.
Yep. Well, January again, a busy month. NBA action on TNT. Join Ron Thulin and Doug Collins this Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern. They travel to Phoenix, where the Suns will host Sean Kemp and the Seattle Supersonics. They met earlier this year, went right down to the end, and Dan Marley, 7 seconds left, a 3 to win it. And then on Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Bob Neal and Hubie Brown will bring you live action from Orlando. The Shaq Man and Magic take on the surprising Chicago Bulls, who've been playing well without Michael Jordan. Stanisic on the option, runs it forward to the 20-yard line. And on top of him was Michael Rogers, number 52. Now back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. 14:26 left in the game. It's 17-10 Alabama. It was tied at half, and then Alabama took the opening kickoff of the second half, drove it 65 yards in 12 plays, took 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
Well, Mac Brown said my quarterback has to play well for us to win. He has done that tonight, but they have not been able to get any production out of Johnson and Johnson.
Still back to throw, Stanisic. Pressure coming, gets rid of it, and as the catch made, it is Holiday again. Boy, this guy has been nothing short of sensational. That's a 15-yard catch, a first down at the 35.
Watch the way Corey Holiday separates himself from the defender out of the break, right when the ball is thrown. I mean, he doesn't look open until he starts to break away from the defender. And that was a perfectly thrown ball by Stanisic away from that defender, too.
Look at those numbers. 8 for 117 yards in every imaginable pattern and catch he's made here tonight. First down at the 35. Hand off this time to the short man, the fullback, Henderson. Didn't fool very many people. And in particular, Tyrell Buckner. Again, a true freshman. One of 9 that Gene Stallings is using, and there's going to be a half-yard gain on the play, and that's all.
There has been some very good linebacker play from both these teams. That time was Tyrell Buckner, but Carolina's had some good linebacker play too.
Second down, make it virtually 9 yards to go, 9.5. Leon Johnson in the backfield. Stanisic, look out, backside, he's blitzed by Damian Jeffries. Jeffries, number 91. Here's a guy who's had all kinds of injury problems, had a foot fracture that kept him out of the first 4 games, but they didn't keep him out on this play.
Gary, I'm amazed that Stanisic could even hang on to this ball. He's going to come from the far side, number 91, right at the top of the screen. Just gets right on the edge of Curtis Parker, the tackle. And once a defensive end gets on that shoulder of an offensive tackle, he's gotten him beaten. And Damian Jeffries sacked Stanisic because he got on the corner.
Coming out of high school, he was a number 1 prospect at tight end. 3rd and 18 now after that loss. Stanisic back again. He's in a little bit of trouble. Throws with somebody draped on him, incomplete. Good pressure coming that time. It was Nunley this time. And so, 4th down. So after Holiday made that catch, all of a sudden, Alabama stepped it up defensively.
Yeah, Alabama started the game playing real good defense, and in this second half, they played real good defense. As you mentioned, Gary, really the key has been there was their opening drive in this third quarter, in the third quarter, where they came out and played some very physical football and got their touchdown.
Mike Thomas punts away. Palmer's going to get a chance at a return here to the 45, to the 50, and tackled just short of the 45. There is a flag thrown. Palmer, again, so exciting. 14-yard return after a 33-yard punt by Mike Thomas. One thing North Carolina has not gotten tonight is good punting. And they're going to back Alabama back in their legal block. And so they will not start in the North Carolina end of the field.
No, Gary, we said at the very
That was an illegal block in the back during the run back by the receiving team. First down.
So Gene Stallings with a 7-point lead, 12-14 left to go. When we come back, the Crimson Tide will have it at their own 34.
Official timeout.
2 hours is all it takes to discover the world. Watch National Geographic Explorer every Sunday night at 9 Eastern, exclusively on TBS.
Want a taste you can't resist? There's no bag chip you can pop like this. Chips and bags got busted pieces. Brings you down with all their greases. The Pringles can't stop. Pop, the Pringles can't. You got the stack, you got the bunch. For a whole lot of taste of the Pringles crunch. You got the duck-bill lizard too. Only Pringles rings taste like this to you. The Pringles can't stop. Pop, the Pringles can't. So can those bags of fresh whole chips. Nothing like Pringles crush your lips. Yeah, once you pop, you can't stop.
You're kidding. The heat's off on Saturday? I can't get a copy of Fixed on Saturday. That's helpful.
Technical support is closed on Saturday and...
Please send up some coffees.
UPS introduces Saturday Pickup.
You'll pick up the package?
With guaranteed tracking and guaranteed air delivery by 10:30 a.m. Monday.
Great.
Coffee.
All for less than our competitors.
How you doing?
Hi.
Finally, something on Saturday.
Iced coffee.
Guaranteed to go right. UPS.
Well, the teams had a great time at the Orange Park Kennel Club as they went out, both Alabama and North Carolina. Just a great time.
No, I don't know with the names, man. The names sound good. I got to throw me a... Come on, baby.
How about them dogs, huh? So the 34-yard line is where this series will start after the penalty. Joey Harville now has come in, replacing Roosevelt Patterson at offensive tackle for Alabama.
See what the Alabama defense has done this half. They have been sensational.
Well, they've had the ball a lot offensively, and that helps your defense, obviously. Ryan Bergdorf coming up throwing. Kevin Lee makes his move, can't get to it. He and Hitchcock were hand-fighting each other at the 50-yard line.
Gary, at the beginning of this broadcast, we said about Brian Bergdorf that what he couldn't do was turn the ball over. That is what has killed Alabama in their last few games. He has not tonight. He has not thrown an interception. He's 12 of 20 for 142 yards and a touchdown. He's been efficient. He's run the ball well, but he has not turned the ball over. And we said his defense was good enough to keep him in and perhaps win it. And he's played very efficiently.
And gained some confidence. Second down 10. Marcel West has come in as one of the wide receivers. He's number 1, replacing number 2, David Palmer. Bergdorf, pressure coming. Completes it. I thought Palmer came out of the game. He did not. He made the catch. And we have a late flag now as he's knocked out of bounds at the 39. We have a late hit. So we'll sort this one out. There it is, unsportsmanlike call against North Carolina.
This Alabama team's better when 61 is in the ball game. Toby Shields, the center. Now, Bergdorf does a great job of avoiding a blitz and getting rid of the football and looking for number 2. And then you're going to see the hit after he gets hit out of bounds. It's right there. Not a big hit, but he was clearly out of bounds. This was a good call.
David Palmer just reached up and snatched that ball. And so now they're going to mark the ball at the 47-yard line of UNC with 12:02 left in the game. Alabama by 7. Palmer has 5 catches for 62 yards. A bootleg by Bergdorf didn't fool anyone, and Hitchcock was there. Jimmy Hitchcock was playing really physical on that corner. Also Austin Robbins, but it was Hitchcock, 18, who turned this one in and did a fine job on it.
Yeah, great fake here, but he did not fake out Jimmy Hitchcock. You know, the linebackers may have been fooled, but the corner, number 18, Jimmy Hitchcock was not. I mean, if Hitchcock doesn't stay at home, Bergdorf with some pretty good foot speed is going to have a big play.
The deception hasn't worked as well as just coming right at people.
You're right.
Second down, a loss of 2. Second and 12. Bergdorf up the field. Chad Key makes the catch. He'll be short of the first down as he's dropped at the 39-yard line. There he is. He was a walk-on, a quarterback in high school, third-string quarterback in spring, and now getting a chance to catch some balls. He had a catch in 7 of the 10 games he played, and he looks like he's going to really help this team. That's a 10-yard gain. Still 3 yards short of the first down.
Another nice thing that Brian Bergdorf has done, Gary, is he's really thrown the ball rolling to his left. I mean, he gets those shoulders and hips turned, and he can throw the ball with some steam as he goes to his left. That's a tough throw for a QB.
Another true freshman in the ball game, Paris Turner, number 30 at fullback. His brother a defensive back for Alabama. Pitch comes back to Chris Anderson, and Anderson has the first down as he's just short of the 35. Mike Morton made the stop again, so the clock now starting to be of some concern as far as North Carolina is concerned.
You know, linemen can be as anonymous as a good waiter, Gary.
and you don't notice them much. But when they're doing their job, the chains keep moving, the clock keeps running, and you protect the lead.
Well, we had a waiter the other night that certainly wasn't anonymous. Couldn't even get the attention to get waited on.
Yeah, that's true.
First down now at the 36-yard line. Chris Anderson, the senior, is able to get inside the 35, 34-yard line.
If Carolina is going to win this game, there's 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, and Carolina trails by 7 points. Their defense now is going to have to step up and make a play. Force a turnover, but they really have to be concerned about the kicking game of Alabama. To have a field goal kicker who can kick one from 53, they can't afford to give up any more points the way the Alabama defense is playing. So the Carolina defense has to make some plays right now.
Michael Proctor's 1 of 2 field goal wise already tonight. Just an easy one earlier. North Carolina's had the ball only 6 minutes and 37 seconds this half. Is that amazing? And here comes Sherman Williams, who came back in. Nice little change of pace, replacing Chris Anderson, and he gets the first down. So they're within field goal range now. Marcus Jones made the stop in the 11-yard gain.
Sherman Williams has a good feel for the game. He's a patient runner. He waits for his holes. He waits for the offensive linemen to set up their blocks. You see number 60, Joey Harville, come in and do his thing. He kind of bounces around. He skips. He jumps. He runs sideways. And when you end the run, you pick up another first down.
Boy, he's been a big difference in this game. 79 yards, 15 carries. He had all those yards on that third quarter series. It's been the difference thus far. Here he goes again inside the 20, breaking tackles close to the 15-yard line. Gracie Walker eventually made the stop. Well, Alabama's 8-3-1, but some of the criticism has come from the fact that they beat non-winning teams this year. Tulane, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, losing games that they did tie Tennessee. That was a very big game at the time. They had won 31 games in a row before finally losing to LSU, of all places, Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. But if they win this game tonight, I think they will have beaten a very good football team in North Carolina.
The 11th ranked Tar Heels. Second down now, 3 yards to go. Sherman Williams reading well, using good vision, and squirming forward, very close to the first down.
Okay, if he didn't get the first, I think he's just a pinch short, Gary. I mean, this becomes now the most. Oh, maybe I'm wrong here. Yeah, they gave him the first.
Yep, they did. Yeah, they gave him the first down at the 13. Clock running with 8:20 as a North Carolina now finding themselves really in a big hole.
Yeah, and they have to start stripping the ball carrier. They have to be thinking turnover. Make something happen. Force a strip.
Look at that. Rushing yardage in the second half for North Carolina. And there's almost a mix-up on the exchange. Bergdorf and Lynch collided. They're fortunate that ball didn't come loose. And Lynch is thrown for a loss by Bernardo Harris, number 24.
Well, that's one defensive play Carolina needed. Bernardo Harris is the guy that makes that one. Now, either Harris or one of his teammates have to step up on second down. The up man, number 24 right there, middle of your screen. Outside linebacker blitz. He's got some speed.
2nd and 11. Harris from Chapel Hill always wanted to play for the Tar Heels, and this being his final game, the senior. Right now, the officials stop the clock momentarily. 7:33 left to go. Second down, 11, 17-10 Alabama. Bergdorf to Williams. Look at that move he made. Harris missing. It looked like Harris had it pinched off, and he bounced away from him and was able to pick up yardage to the 10-yard line. He now has 94 yards rushing on the game.
Yeah, that's what I think. When you can make a guy miss in a small area, that's something special. You know, it's easy to do in the defensive secondary when there's a lot of room. But when you have guys crowded in there at the line of scrimmage, and you have to make a move right on a dime, I mean, that's a very nice play by Sherman Williams.
Williams had a high of 148 yards this year. 3rd down and 7 from the 10. Bergdorf, far corner, Chad Key. He got it. Touchdown. That is some catch. An 11-yard touchdown strike.
From one quarterback who was struggling with confidence before the game started to a former quarterback, Chad Key. And a good play and another good drive by Alabama. Mixing it up with run and pass and finesse and power. And it was a terrific adjustment by Chad Key.
Chad Key did not catch a touchdown pass prior to tonight. And what a big one. Proctor's point after is good, and it's 24-10. 66-yard drive, 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Number 19, he is 6'4". They're trying to take advantage of his height. You see the adjustments to the way he turned? He had his eyes on the ball the whole way, and even though it wasn't a perfectly thrown ball, he got the head turned, he got the arm stretched out, and then he hung on for another touchdown.
They've earned the honor of nominee. On January 16th, see who'll walk away a winner.
Hollywood's brightest and best gather on TNT for an evening of the outstanding.
This is a real big one.
We'll just take this home and bust out in half.
And the unexpected.
I'm so embarrassed.
One of television's truly unforgettable nights.
And the winner,
the 15th Annual Cable Ace Awards, a TNT exclusive, live Sunday, January 16th at 9 Eastern on TNT.
When it comes to paint, we're making a name for ourselves because we make our own and guarantee its quality. That's Ace, the name to know for paint.
Finally, there's a TV that proves technology can make our lives easier. A Magnavox TV with a precise color picture, smart windows which preview other channels, and the unique smart sound feature which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels no matter what comes on. Magnavox is so smart, I didn't even have to show up for this commercial. How'd I do?
Great, you were great. The innovative TVs from Magnavox. Smart, very smart.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue. Doctor recommended #1.
24-10 Alabama. Brian Bergdorf, who was 1-2 in previous starts, having quite a game here tonight. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns and run for another. Time of possession is staggering. Alabama's had the ball 16 minutes and 49 seconds. North Carolina, 6 minutes, 37 seconds. That's a 5:40 drive combined with a 5:55 drive that started the second half.
Anytime you have a drive like that, Gary, your offensive linemen are doing a good job. And, you know, you can talk about Chad Key and Brian Bergdorf and Sherman Williams. They've all played well, but so has this Alabama offensive line.
Well, one guy that's really suffering is Rick Steinbacher, and after this kickoff, he's with Craig Sager. He was one of the co-captains, and they could have used him against the run. That was one of the things that concerned Mac Brown, is Steinbacher was so good against the rush. And the wild thing gets into this one. Marcus Wall's going to bring it out, try to make something happen. And he does, out to the 35-yard line. This guy's not very big, but so tough. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, with me as the co-captain of this team, obviously you can't play tonight with a wrist injury. What's wrong with the defense?
I think right now we're getting away from what we were doing in the first half, which is stopping the run. Our goal is to make them a one-dimensional team, and they've gotten back to running the ball, which is what we stopped in the first half. So if we can focus on that and stop the runs, we'll be in good shape.
You need a touchdown here. You also need the defense to come up with a big play.
We need to score quick right here, get a big defensive stand, and get the ball back, and I think we're on our way to doing that.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Boy, you can see why he is a co-captain. Very positive young man. Third-team All-ACC pick. Disappointed he can't play. Danasek comes out, hits the guy who's been his #1 man, wearing #1, Corey Holiday, out to the 41. You know, I mentioned earlier, Pat, that in the previous 3 bowls, the Gene Stallings teams have allowed 50 yards rushing in each of those. 52 here tonight.
Yeah. Well, they're good tacklers. I'm telling you, this is a good, disciplined, good tackling team. There's the time of possession. That really does tell the story. Started in that third quarter with the opening drive by Alabama when they just kind of rammed it down Carolina's throat.
They set the tempo, didn't they, with that drive? 5:51 left. Stanisic back to throw on 2nd and 4, and whoops. He's had some problems with his footing all night long. It'll be a loss of 9. Nunley was in the vicinity, and they'll mark the ball at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, when you're down by 2 touchdowns, there's 5.5 minutes left in the game. You can't afford any negative plays, and that's just what happens. So now they're faced with a 3rd and 13 against a very good Alabama pass secondary, defensive secondary.
And some pretty good pressure, especially in the second half. 3rd down, 13 yards to go. Danasek going far side. Holiday, the intended receiver. Coverage by Willie Gaston that time. And so it's 4th down with 5:05 left in the ball game.
Yeah, the slip there by Stanisic really prevented them from going from it on 4th down. If he hadn't slipped, maybe they go for it on 4th down. But now with, 4th and 13, it's just too far to take a chance. Got to play some defense.
North Carolina came in here with a 3-game winning streak. Ranked 11th in one poll, 12th in another, at 10-2. Finishing second only to Florida State in the ACC. They've had quite a year. Thomas punting, not a very good punt again. Thomas was hurt in the spring. He tore a muscle in his chest lifting weights and really didn't get a chance to work on his punting after being such a superb punter in his freshman year. That's another 30-yard punt. That's 3 30-yard punts he's had tonight.
Come on, let's decide.
I want the beach.
Honey, I just want to have fun.
Well, how about some golf?
I think I've got it. Look at this. Jacksonville, Florida. It's got everything.
Jacksonville, Florida, your everything vacation destination. Call today, 1-800-733-2668.
Tom O'Keefe is in the grip of a really tough cold, but he's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Pills take time to dissolve, but Alka-Seltzer Plus is ready the moment you take it, rushing powerful medicines to soothe your aches, relieve your runny nose, free your breathing. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Introducing something really big. A momentous marriage of tremendous tastes from Chunky. New chicken broccoli cheese soup. Choice chunks of tender chicken and heaps of hearty potatoes combined in a rich, creamy broth of broccoli and cheese. Chunks big enough for a fork, but use a big spoon to get every wholesome bite of this deliciously different soup. New Chunky chicken broccoli cheese. Soup so big it eats like a meal.
24-10, Alabama with the lead. The Blockbuster Video Blimp is one of the few internally lit airships currently in use around the world. The Blockbuster Video Blimp is based in Orlando, Florida. We hope there's not some internally lit people tonight on New Year's Eve.
How few are there? How few are internally lit? All the blimps out there, how few are internally lit?
I'll find out for you, okay? We'll have the answer. Stay tuned. As Sherman Williams, check that. Brian Steger brings the ball out to the 40-yard line for a gain of 2.
Now, one of the questions about Alabama, at least that I had in my mind, is would they take this game seriously? Here's a team that's coming off a national championship, disappointed about winning the SEC championship. But I'll tell you what, both teams have played hard, but particularly Alabama. There has been no let up in this team at all.
Our statistician extraordinaire, Roger Riley, shows us that Bama's balance, 150 yards rushing, 167 passing.
He's good with numbers.
Yes, he is. I hope he is. Maybe that's not right. Second down now, 8 from the 40-yard line. Here's Steger again. Look at this guy. Now, this is a player that hasn't played all that much, but he's going to play a lot in the future. That's a 14-yard burst.
You know, a different kind of runner than Sherman Williams, too, Gary. Sherman Williams is a very patient kind of guy, waiting for things to develop. Brian Steger, looks like he's an impatient guy. He'll find the smallest little crease, the smallest little hole, and then he will seize it, and he has a very nice burst.
From Newmarket, Alabama, 6'3", 210-pounder. And that little burst took it to the 46-yard line of North Carolina. 3:50 remaining in the ball game. Marcus Mooring is in at fullback, joining Steger in the backfield. Comes Steger again. He gets off the mark quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
To the 42 there.
But notice, Gary, no penetration by that Carolina defense. The offensive line, Hammond at left tackle, John Clay at left guard, Shields, who's played well there at center, Dennis Deason.
They may be getting tired, Pat. Look how many minutes they've been on the field, as it's been all Alabama time of possession.
Yeah, but you know, Carolina rotates a lot of players, so it hasn't been just the same 11 guys on they've been dominating with.
Bergdorf has come out of the ball game. That means Freddie Kitchens, who's another true freshman out of Atlanta, would come in. Now this guy has a tremendous arm. He threw a 77-yard touchdown pass this year. He has Morin and Steger in the backfield. Freddie Kitchens. And the handoff straight ahead. Not much going on that. It'll bring up a third down. There he is. 6'3", a 210-pounder. The one thing with that strong arm that Gene Stallings was telling us, that so strong, sometimes he sails it over people. He's got to adjust on some of the pass routes that they've been throwing. 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, the 2 touchdowns that he's thrown, both of them have been the kind of make you stand up and cheer. One was a 45-yarder to Todrick Malone. I guess it was his high school teammate.
Yeah, they played together.
Yeah, and then they threw the 77-yarder later on. So,
well, Bergdorf should have Stallings' confidence now.
No, absolutely. He's earned it. He has earned it tonight.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. Steger trying to get the corner, and good reaction. Mike Morton. Morton's made a lot of tackles tonight out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, replacing Steinbacher, who just a moment ago visited with Craig Sager. Is that right? That's his 15th tackle. We just found out Morton has 15 tackles tonight. And David Palmer enjoying this final day of 1993. By the way, Happy New Year.
Yeah, to you.
Partner.
You. I'm glad you've taken that new job in 1994 of you're being a proofreader for M&M Candy, aren't you?
Listen, any job is good for me. 24-10. We'll be back.
It's about an hour each way. But somehow in my Taurus, I don't mind.
I've never liked storms. Now I don't really notice them much.
Seems like everything's getting more streamlined. Wish I could say the same for myself.
For so many people, for so many reasons, Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America.
The Gator Bowl Association and the City of Jacksonville wish to thank these corporate sponsors for their continuing support throughout the year. Happy New Year.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders helps stop flakes from even forming. You see the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Chad Key, first touchdown catch of his career, 24-10. I'd like to thank the people for North Carolina, along with this Alabama team, Rick Brewer for the Tar Heels and his staff at the Sports Information Office, also Larry White and his staff for the University of Alabama. And that gives us time also to tell you next, right here on TBS, there he is, New Year's Eve party to help you ring in the new year. First up, it's John Belushi and National Lampoon's Animal House. And then stay tuned for this hilarious tale of the frat house hijinks following the game. The Animal House. I lived in an Animal House one time.
Yeah, you seem like that kind of guy.
I'm not a PBS guy. I can see that right now for you. There's Brian Deal putting this one in for the touchback, brings it out to the 20-yard line. I want to thank some people. You know, we've worked all year long with these guys. Our producer, Peter Lasser, our director, Lonnie Dale, Joe Vincius, Jay Cockrell, guys who have done such an outstanding job. And Valerie, with a new name now, Burrell, and also up here in the booth, we've talked about our statistician, our spotter, Tom Delnos, and a guy who just keeps us going and keeps us in line at all times, Shannon Mizell. All of you guys, all the cameramen, all the people we work with, it's been a great year, and we thank you. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. There's a Holiday again, coming up with catch and then out of bounds. So that'll stop the clock with 1:42.
Well, what kind of New Year's resolutions do you have there, Gary?
To avoid you as much as possible.
Good. That's good.
No.
I'm giving up kiwi.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
I've become addicted to that stuff.
Our spotter is going to quit chewing. We're going to kill him from the 20-yard line now. 2nd down, 10. Did you get any stains on your coat tonight?
I'm okay tonight.
Okay. Ooh, Anasek got rid of that one. Short-armed it as he was really hit. Bucky Brooks made the catch on the far side.
Well, for this Alabama team that came off of 2 losses to Auburn and Florida in the SEC championship game, this is a good finish for their team. They end the season with 9 wins. They end the season on an up note. And for the senior class, who played so well, it's been a good finish as well. For North Carolina, they were looking for that top 10 finish. They were looking for the great bookends, wins over Southern Cal and Alabama. A good, solid year with 10 wins, but didn't go this final one the way they hoped.
But they've got all those skilled people coming back, North Carolina does. Both these teams will be very good next year. Alabama will go to 9-3-1. North Carolina to 10-3, as Alabama will have a lot to celebrate here on this final day of 1993. Gene Stallings, a year ago, was getting ready for the national championship, upsetting Miami, and coming back this year a day earlier to the Gator Bowl and picking up a win here. You know, he started out his first year losing in the Fiesta Bowl to Louisville. And they had lost 3 of their last 4 bowl games. And there's a penalty flag after Palmer makes the fair catch at the 41. So this salves a lot of wounds. This pride and tradition that Alabama has, and to finish this year on a very positive note, has to be happy, even though Gene Stallings doesn't look very happy right now.
Well, even with a 14-point lead, this guy is an intense guy. He wants to do everything right. You know, wants to be, I think, have an offensive team be a more powerful team next year.
Yep.
We've got Jay Barker, who looks like he may well be available in the fall.
You'd never know this guy was winning right now, would you?
Yeah.
It's 58 years old, and this victory will give him number 40. He'll be 49-1 since taking over at Alabama. They wanted a guy that sounded and looked and coached a lot like the Bear, and this guy's
12 men on the field, defense, first down offense.
So that will give North Carolina new life with 37-yard line area, the line of scrimmage. 56 seconds left in the game.
And, you know, with North Carolina, Mac Brown was telling us one of the things that he's been able to do there now is really recruit well in the state of North Carolina. Says, hey, I can go out and get my skilled players in the state, and he's been able to do a pretty good job of that.
Yep, he's got North Carolina back to national prominence. Stanisic has the ball stripped, and it's going to be picked up by Damian Jeffries.
Well, they called that an incomplete pass, I think, but it sure looked like a fumble to me.
It sure did, and Stallings saying that wasn't a pass. Hey, Gene, there's only 51 seconds left here. Gene, you're leading 24-10. Well, anyway.
You never want to tell them it's just a game, would you?
Yeah. Stay with us as Craig Sager will be interviewing the Gator Bowl MVP. As we have 51 seconds left, he's ruled an incomplete pass. Stanisic comes up throwing again, and the catch is made by, no, it isn't. Holiday had it for a moment. Came loose. Pretty good coverage that time by Willie Gaston. Stops the clock with 46 seconds.
Well, Jason Stanisic is back for the Tar Heels next year. That's a good place to start.
Yes,
Johnson and Johnson will be back. Lose some of their receivers, lose some offensive linemen.
But they play a lot of people. And so those offensive linemen have been interchanged up front. They're excited about Marcus Wall, who's a sophomore. Same thing can be said for Alabama. Both these teams are going to be very good next year. Stanisic, rifle player, and the catch is made by Marcus Wall, and Tommy Johnson really belts him. Line of scrimmage will be across the 40. It'll bring up now 4th down and still 7 yards to go as you see the time remaining. So next year will be the 50th annual Gator Bowl. There'll be some renovations taking place as this game will reach quite an illustrious mark. 50 years of tradition. As Stanisic throws again, and diving forward and out of bounds goes Marcus Wall and stops the clock with 9 seconds. So Mack Brown's record now will even out at 34, 34, and 1. But the last 4 seasons, he's lost only 14 games. He has a reputation of developing some of the most explosive offenses. They're sneaking up on Gene. They were held down tonight to 10 points, but give credit.
Heads up. Always going to get that nice cashmere coat wet.
Everybody kind of getting away from Gene right now, and he's kind of looking over his shoulder.
He may not be laughing either after he gets doused with all that cold water.
Oh, man. Nine seconds left.
Here it comes. Hello.
Yeah, they got him.
Testing.
Oh. I tell you what, if I was number 80, I wouldn't let him see my number right now after that. And so that's the last snap. And Alabama with an impressive 24-10 victory.
Did you notice it was all seniors that doused him with the water?
And so Gene Stallings, the walk to the center of the field to shake hands with Mack Brown. And Craig Sager, let's go to you.
Well, to present the Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl Most Valuable Player Award, a former MVP himself, Tommy Shannon, also the newest member of the Hall of Fame, inducted yesterday, Tommy Shannon.
Congratulations, Brian, as a member of the Gator Bowl Hall of Fame and as a member of the Outback family. I congratulate you and the University of Alabama. Great ball game.
Thank you. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame, and thank you for the award. But my teammates deserve this award. We had a great game. It was a great win for all of us. We really had a great time all week down here.
Great. Congratulations again, Brian. Happy New Year.
Brian, first of all, you started the year as a backup quarterback. You end up with the MVP award. Congratulations, and talk about the quarterback draw, then the touchdown pass to Chad Key.
Well, the quarterback draw, it was a called play. And when I got to about the 10-yard line, I thought I was in better shape than I was. I was tired when I came off the sideline, but it was a great block in, and I just saw the end zone, and it opened up. It was really good, and Chad made a great catch. He deserved it, and me and him had thrown a touchdown pass together all year. He made a great catch.
We talked to Jay Barker going to the locker room at halftime. He said he was giving you encouragement, he was rooting for you, but let's face it, you're the MVP. Going into spring ball, you want that job.
Oh, definitely, and Jay and I know the competition's there coming in. We're great friends. We've roomed together for 3 years, and we know the competition is good, and it makes the team better. It'll make our team better next year.
Well, may the competition bring out the best in both of you as it did tonight.
Oh, definitely. We had a great game. It was a great win and a stepping stone into next year.
Gary Bender and Pat Hayden will be back in a moment from the Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Stay tuned.
The 1993 Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. By Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? And by the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was and more.
Roger. Is it true right before you die, your life passes before your eyes?
That's what they say, mate.
Well, mine's passing now. I see a beer, a blooming onion, a big juicy steak, and my sweetheart.
Sweetheart, you're not dying, you're dreaming.
For the meal of your life, get to Outback Steakhouse.
Hey, dragger racing!
We want to watch the dog show.
Okay, we can watch both. Sunday, Miller Lite presents the Wiener Dog Winter Nationals. It's Muffy versus Dogzilla. And here they come, Bob, brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. And Muffy takes it. That's one fast Wiener Dog. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
This is good beer.
Alabama 24, North Carolina 10, and Brian Bergdorf, the MVP, 15 of 23, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing, 33-yarder What a way for him to finish 1993.
Gary, he did a lot of things well. I mean, he threw some balls with some touch. He drilled the ball at times, and he scrambled particularly well. I'm real happy for him because this is a guy that was struggling with his confidence coming into the game, and he's got to feel very good about the way he played and the way he led this team.
Well, it's been fun working with you, Pat. I've enjoyed it immensely as a friend and a professional. The best to you in 1994.
And to you and your family, Gary. I've enjoyed it as well. Thank you.
All right, the final once again, 24-10. Coming up next, you got to stay with us on this one. There he is, John Belushi, National Lampoon's Animal House. That will be next. So for Craig Sager and Pat Hayden, I'm Gary Bender saying so long from the 49th Annual Gator Bowl, where Alabama picked up their 9th win of the year, and this guy, Brian Bergdorf, led them being the MVP.